a shootout. Frosty down over to
Oh
Scribble,
my gosh.
shot on target and in, and the
Okay,
Snowmen
the lights are wrong. We're fixing it. Don't worry.
Y'all calm down.
I have to go live just because I have to go live.
Goodness. I think everybody's expecting. Frosty and First Killer's in a real tough spot on the back wall. Great decision to dish that off to Scribbles. A little more aggression out of Snowmen.
There is no time to waste going
them
live.
Well enough, but they are still locked in a battle here. Chronic got a piece of this. Reveal and Scribbles are all there. Then Frosty joins the fray. That's the decision making that you see out of Snowmen. You kind of go, all right, well, you know, you're kind of double committed and it's working, but then three's a crowd, man. Reveal trying to keep this alive in the corner, and First Killer comes out of that with the ball. And somebody's got to get a hand up, and a very late challenge. This drops back for Chronic, and he'll just better opportunity. Now it's presented itself. Trying to get around Reveal. Good luck.
I do have one in drive that I want to pull up.
Here comes First. Again, Gen G.
Punish Gen G.
This is massive, and it's a attempt from Chronic. It's sent off by Frosty. Jack puts it back to the backboard. Scribbles enough in the tank to keep this one out, but that bounce up could be dangerous. Jack off the backboard. Chronic's there to
Trying to be in good quality.
Follow. And Gen G, most you can do is just keep the pressure going, taking turns one after the other, but the Snowmen have been doing a great job of fending off every effort and every shot that Gen G have put on target.
Oh, that ball drops down for apparently Jack, and the Jack attack is alive and well. Gen G back in front. Follow-up, and it really is similar to game one, where Gen G would go in front, Snowmen would answer back, then Snowmen would answer again, then Gen G answered. It's just the other way around now.
This might be legit, though.
And the same score line from game one. Gen G up by 2, and that's really going to force Snowmen to throw caution to the wind.
I'm not jinxing it, but this might be slightly better for me.
And they don't convert on this effort off the kickoff, and Gen G will
I
stabilize.
also have to make a thumbnail still.
Yeah, I feel like Snowmen almost thrive in just the almost just going with the flow kind of mindset, and that's kind of what has caught Gen G off guard at some moments in time. We
haven't dropped a frame yet, though, so that's good.
Maybe Snowmen are playing a little bit too close together.
What's not good is the fact that Snowmen have fallen apart since taking these first 2 games.
And I feel like when they start to overthink that, that's where they get caught off guard. But they're trying to go back for it. Frosty trying to open up a field there, taking Jack off the field, leaving some room there for Reveal. Scribbles with a bump. Huge bump in the net off that one, but there's just not enough time at that point. Gen G kill the ball, and they are the first ones to head to match point.
Gen G with 3 straight after dropping the first 2. Snowmen came out with
actually,
all the energy,
fix the Wi-Fi problem, maybe?
All the excitement.
So that's cool.
And since then, Gen G has simply outscored them 9-4.
Now I want to
over the last 3 games.
Make a thumbnail for this.
And it's Gen G,
is
1 win away from getting into the grand finals. You know, the way everybody expected them to do so. I mean, look at this great passing play that kicked things off, and he thought, all right, it's Gen G's series, and Snowmen are just along for the ride, but then they answered back, and it was just haymakers getting lobbed back and forth before finally Gen G solidified their lead just the same way Snowmen did in game 1 of this series. Almost a carbon copy of that game in particular. And the number 6 seed is 5 minutes away now, maybe with some overtime, who knows, from securing their spot in the grand final.
I mean, they look good, and I feel like you can even like physically see the plan that Gen G has on Snowmen now. They knew that Snowmen were pretty aggressive with their plays, coming up in pairs of 2 at time or cheating up a little bit far. And now what Gen G has done is they
need
know
a Snowman win
that
here.
if you send one person just a tiny bit far upfield and you make that big clear and you start the passing plays, the Snowman rotation is just a tiny bit off enough and not consistent enough that you can pinball this around them almost too easily for Gen G. We've seen that a plenty amount of times. We're about to see it again. Chronic takes a shot, Frosty sends it off. In first 15 seconds, it's Gen G pressure.
First Killer to bring it around. Reveal just right back out to First Killer, who serves it up, and Reveal had it read all the way. Keeps that ball alive for Scribbles to run onto, but there's First Killer. all the time in the world. Apparently Jack, fake going after Frosty, then turned on reveal.
All right.
But the Snowmen,
now I have to add 3 different pictures.
They don't get phased by it.
I'm
this
half
time.
watching, half making the
First
thumbnail.
killer will bring it to the back wall here at Neo Tokyo. Dangerous spot for him, but
thank you,
he handles
Adam
it this
Core,
time.
for letting me use these logos.
And can he get this ball down in front, or is he just going to take a shot? Why not? Apparently Jack on the weak side, cleared out by Scribbles.
And this isn't going to stop the play here. Snowmen trying to make some sort of a play, formulate for themselves, but Gen.G stop it in its tracks and head over to the other side of the field. Huge 50 there from Chronic, but Scribble's still able to get that save. First killer's up next. 2 touches, goes all the way across the backboard, one end to the other. Bumps coming onto Jack. It's Snowmen saying, get out of our half or we'll force you out. And Gen.G, they're not afraid. They're still going. First killer off the backboard. Follow-up from
Good
Chronic.
save.
It's a slow floater towards that net.
Important
and
save.
still, Snowmen walk away with the saves.
Oh, this one
That's not
just
good.
barely snakes through. Chronic, listen, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. As that one gets through Scribbles, a little awkward there, couldn't get to it. Chronic adds another to his tally, his 5th goal of this series.
Please tell me I can just add
Just about
this.
all of them have been high impact as well. I think they kind of forgot
This should be pretty
somebody
easy to add.
when we were talking about MVPs earlier. Chronic has been amazing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I feel like Chronic is one of those players that kind of gets respectfully slept on a little bit.
I don't know why
especially when you
did
have
that.
players like First Killer and apparently Jack on your team. These are 2 huge names. Abstract defensively is a masterclass, and then same can be said for First Killer on the offensive end. And Chronic is just that perfect balance in between that can do either.
We have an
when
updated
needed.
thumbnail.
And that's what we've been seeing throughout the series. And this one is all the way back. Chronic pops this one up for first.
Actually
First
uploads.
killer all the way around the corner. Frosty's trying to anticipate, and he pinches it down on the ground to try and go through, but Jack sends it back.
I don't think it's working just yet.
Chronic's
Now
not
it's
that good.
just
He's
change
only
the save.
scored 32 goals this weekend, more than anybody else. Here goes Frosty. Nope, he thought about it. Instead, had to backflip, and Reveal won that ahead to Scribbles. Opportunity to set up Frosty, but the pass not on target, and First Killer will clear it away. Reveal just a big boom downfield. He didn't have anything in the tag, trying to chase down Chronic. Kind of impressed that he got there. And then that ball played away from Frosty, and it feels like Gen.G almost not
I don't know
playing with their
how-
food. They still have to work for it here.
It should be
But they are
the
kind
right
of baiting
thumbnail,
in
but I don't
Snowmen
know
and
if
just
it's
playing
gonna
right
be,
over the
so.
top of them. They almost got
Either way.
punished for it, though. As
I was locking
Snowmen
on the
have
last
something
2
going on the
again, so
attack.
this-
It's Reveal, relatively quiet since his hat trick in game 1. And that one cleared away by First Killer, only as far as Frosty. Some life here for the upstart squad, but they find themselves trailing in the series and trailing in this game, needing a goal to at least get to overtime, needing 2 to force a trip to
Scribbles.
Champions Field. Scribbles, infield pass, nobody there for it, and Gen.G continue to apply the pressure.
And you just see it over and over again. Snowmen, they get to the midfield, and as soon as they inch past it, they immediately get sent back into their half. This is
Reveal.
one of the rarer
Ooh, good touch.
clears that we've seen.
Frosty,
It's Reveal
please
off
be
the
up.
back.
Oh, that's not the
Frosty
touch you want.
just too
No.
awkward. It's a free shot for apparently Jack to catch
Oh,
them
that
off guard.
sucks.
And again, I've said this time and time again, the moment Snowmen cheat up just a bit too much, Gen.G see it from a mile away and take full-fledged advantage.
Gen.G, a minute 27
Man,
away
that sucks.
from dispatching 2 former NRG players in 24 hours. Snowmen trying to get back to work here. Reveal up to the heavens, doesn't have much to work with. And Scribbles and Frosty both come up. It's Frosty that takes over, and Jack not fooled one bit. Chronic up in the air, beats Reveal. Trying to disrupt Frosty as well as that goes back to First Killer. Gen.G have all the confidence in the world, all the comfort, and all the time to play with this ball. It's Chronic with apparently Jack running forward, only First Killer at the back now, and maybe a chance for Snowmen, but instead, that demo by Chronic just takes more time off the clock. Tick, tick.
This is sad.
And the bomb's
This
about
is
to
sad.
explode here in Snowmen's face.
Oh, please,
Scribble's
somebody
gonna
be
take
there.
a
Somebody
shot.
be there.
It's a wide one off the backboard. Reveal tries to make
How
an
did he
angle
get
off of
there?
it, but Chronic, again, he has been such an
Did
MVP
Reveal just-
for
or
Gen.G
Frosty just
throughout
dodge
this
that
series
boost?
here, and you got 28 seconds to find 2 goals, and you're boxed into your own half. It's going to be probably more difficult than you could have imagined to try and catch up at this point.
Nope, they
Chronic,
can't do it.
Massive 50, wastes
Oh, that
seconds
sucks.
that the Snowmen would have needed to continue their journey on in Championship Sunday. But
They
I
just
think
missed that
it's
shot.
safe to say with 5 seconds left and a 2-goal
Bomber.
lead, Gen G are headed to their 3rd grand final.
Grass is green, water is wet.
Sad day.
We're on pace, perhaps, for another Gen G G2 final. Gen G have held up their end of the bargain. Some relief on the faces of all the members of Gen G. And of course, Chrome just in there like, see, I told y'all we'd win.
There we go. So it does
he's gone
have
from
a...
worst coach in the world to best coach ever, just like that. I've missed Rocket League. I really have.
It's honestly like the most Rocket League thing though, to you know, travel all over the place and then just fall up.
Reveal,
that is
sad.
Rocket League.
That is tragic.
Gen G, I don't know. I didn't write down their shots for one of the games. I don't think they had more than 10 shots in any of these games. They were around for the better part of this series, and they still find a way to outscore Snowmen coming down the stretch. They weathered that early storm, but in the end,
Whoa,
it is way
people
too
like
much
this message.
out of Jack, too much out of First Killer, and of course,
Oh, Connor
way
retweeted it.
too much out of Chronic. Over
Makes sense.
30 goals on the weekend, and he'll continue it with the grand finals. Who will Gen G face? G2 SSG coming up next.
Come on, guys, get me.
Who won this?
There you go.
2-0. Okay.
So cute. At Ally, we're helping millions save more for the things that matter most
Time to get real.
to them. Whatever you're saving for, we're all better off with an Ally.
Get back to work.
Wait, I have to tweet this graphic. All right. It's time for game day. In 5 minutes. In 20 seconds. It's a bummer that I only caught the real tail end of that series because the first 2 games sounded like they were a lot of fun to watch. I also don't want to have to sit through a G2 Gen G final again. I hope we don't have to see that a 50th time. Did I keep my Twitter tab open? I did. Oh, Europe main qualifier. Okay. Luna Galaxy, Jobless, K Corp, Gentlemates. Okay, to the top 4 made it. That's basically what we expected. Right? That's nothing new. I like being able to actually surf the internet when I'm streaming and not having my entire stream crash. That's new. Okay, so what has been going on other than, for once in our lives, the expected results in Europe? Yeah, I know there's a bar right there on the side. It fixes when I go to full screen, or I could just do this. Boom, that helps too. %. Solary with Astra losing to 100%. Like, what? Grid Resolve? Oh, Resolve is that's kind of an upset because Resolve is the old Redemption roster. So I guess that's a bit of a result to see Team 3 coming through there. That's Mark Kata Rizex now? Is that what that is? Or is that what that was? Oh, now it's Mark Catanoa. I forget where Rizex went, to be honest. Top Cougar getting destroyed, yeah. Endpoint, I expect to still see make it, and Fast Forward probably as well. But, I mean, unless I'm missing something here. Saw getting upset here is kind of insane. Maybe they have Rizex instead? Yeah, they have Rizex and Tekos, so. That's okay. Kind of a surprise. We'll see who they have to end up facing. But right now, they're the biggest upset. Oh, Belagol here. I don't know who's on TST, but Speed, Hider, Temper. That is not a team. So. Valiance is decent too, right? No. They have Econ. That's the only guy I know. But look down here. Solary's playing. So this is where they drop when they lose in that first round. Solary wins. Valiant still wins. Belagol still wins. Belagol Fast Forward is a big one. Sub versus Top Cougars is nuts. The fact that someone's going to come in through here is kind of insane. Endpoint, probably see them. Who's on Daystar? Wow. Solary Wild. That's a winnable one for Solary. He was on Wild anyways. Tempo. RXI. Emil. Okay. Okay. So this will be good to keep an eye on. But wait, where's Resolve? Resolve doesn't really have to. I don't know anyone in this roster. So if Resolve have to face someone, if Resolve don't make it, that'll be a shock. 20 seconds left.
Gen G Mobile One Racing dropped the first 2 games, and then they go on a torrid pace, scoring 11 goals over the last 4 games, and they storm back, winning 4 straight, on their way to another grand final here in North America. And here to talk about it is their new coach, Chrome. Chrome, congratulations on the win, sir.
This is true.
Thank you, brother.
And it has been an eventful weekend for you, right? You take over this team, and the first event trying to shake off all the rust. Seems like you got it solved now.
That'd
going into the finals. But what has impressed you the most as you take over here with Gen G?
For a second, I thought this was a
I
proposal
think what
post.
impresses
I was
me
like,
the
that
most
can't be
is how
asked for.
quick they can make the adjustments and are really, taking the criticism really well and not getting too upset and losing their head in the game.
This is weird.
And we showed that we went down 0-2, we can come back, win 4 straight. That was just amazing to see from my point of view.
We've heard Sathu talk about that with G2 a lot, how, he can be kind of brutally honest with the team, and, they take criticism well, they listen well. How nice is it to have a team that will buy into that with you, especially so quickly after you've taken over the job?
It's weird. This is definitely the best team I've ever coached in terms of the grouping. Everyone wants to learn. Everyone takes criticism. Everyone doesn't take offense to anything that's said. And that's the hardest thing to find in esports. Is
Interesting.
Someone loses their head off one little, comment and doesn't understand that it's for the betterment of the team. And the fact that we could just talk about things.
He just said this is the best team he's ever coached.
So deadly.
And I take personal
And
offense
you
to
guys
that.
were under fire. You had a lot to talk about during that timeout after game 2. You're down 0-2 in this semifinal series. I'm sure you won't reveal too much about strategy, but what was the general vibe during that timeout while you're down 0-2?
Pretty much we weren't playing the way we were supposed to in our game plan. A lot of it was we were letting them be comfortable on defense, and we had to make a few adjustments to eliminate that, and I felt like that's what really...
Sorry, what did Joyo do?
Kind of made them panic more, and they realized okay, we don't have freebies anymore. And once we realized that, once we get the positioning on point for us, it was over for them.
You know, Jack and First Killer get a lot of attention, of course. They were great during the comeback effort. Chronic's been great all weekend. I know it's tough to single out one player when you've got a team playing as well as a full unit as you guys are. But how has Chronic's performance helped elevate you guys through this opening weekend?
Man, he just whip out a play out of nowhere. Like, it's insane. And he's just so energetic, too. He keeps the vibes really high. The other guys just want to win as well with him. And he could just, like, he plays so under pressure. It's crazy to see.
Well, you've got G2 or Space Station next. Any thoughts about your former team and maybe a possible finals matchup?
I'd be surprised if they win, to be honest with you. Good luck to them.
Fair enough.
Jeez.
All right, well, hey, Chrome, congrats again
All right,
on the win.
well,
We'll let you
the odds
relax with
stacked
the team
against
and
us,
await
I
your
guess.
opponent in the grand finals coming up.
Thank you.
The Snowmen brought their full strength, taking 2 games at the beginning of the series. Then Gen G found their blowtorch, and it was over. Back to normal. Gen G into the finals. The more things change, the more they stay the same. In North America, Hercules, Gen G are going to play in another grand finals here.
I mean, it's expected. we saw it. I honestly, it wasn't that I didn't want the Snowmen to win. I was very happy with how that series went. I think they should be too. I don't think they should be too hard on themselves. That's a very high pressure situation to go up against Gen G in an attempt to take them out of a grand finals spot. But at the end of the day, like Stack says, water's wet, grass is green, and Gen G is in another grand final.
I mean, Bates, we were talking in the green room about how, yes, Gen G wins this series, but the question was, can Snowmen match their Swiss level performance? And while they didn't get the win on Gen G, my estimation of the Snowmen increased watching them in this match.
They're budding stars in North America wave. The fact that they've already beaten Gen G one time, pushed them all the way to Game 6. Herc, I heard you on the cast. You were just happy that Snowmen were pushing Gen G to this point. And that's what you want to see.
right, well,
that's what you want to see out of these North American squads. At the moment, so far this season, it's been the G2 and Gen G show with everybody else just playing second fiddle. The Snowmen proving and showcasing that they can do. Am I frozen?
Oh, we lost Bates.
You're putting a voice in our head.
I'm not really found on Twitch very much.
It's nothing short of sensational and exactly what they need to do in order to get the job done.
I'm just hearing voices just echoing around. It's like Bates is here with us, Herc, but I don't see him.
I don't know.
I did stream on Twitch for a bit, but I've already got like a lot of stuff centralized here.
I think I hear him, but then I remember I can make my points without him.
He's here with us in spirit, folks. Let's take a look at the bracket here as Gen G does advance to the grand finals. They will await the results of our next match. G2 versus Space Station. They have played each other so many times in the history of Rocket League, but we'll get to see them again.
This isn't a rivalry.
G2 on a lengthy winning streak. I believe 5 matches in a row, Herc. It's going to be big work for Space Station. You know they want to take it here this 6th time.
Oh my goodness.
I gotta be ready to tweet out that
shout
graphic.
Out to Space Station for not having to play Gen G again, but then you get faced off with G2. So in your mind, you should treat this like, all right, if we did make the grand finals, oh wait, is he coming back? If they did make the grand finals, this is what it would be like. This is almost like simulation time for SSG, and you gotta take full advantage of the opportunity, right? So G2 are still G2 at the end of the day. They're on a rampage. They're unbeatable is how it seems.
I think
it's pretty much
if Snowmen don't make the run, it's really good for us if they made top 4.
It's pretty difficult in North America to make it to a grand finals without playing G2 or Gen G. And if you did, everyone would call it a Mickey bracket. So no Mickey bracket here for Space Station. They got to go through the Kings of North America. G2 versus Space Station going to be our next semifinals. The winner gets to face off against the Tigers. So we'll talk about it, get into it here, and think.
The Fennec is so weird to me.
What is, in your estimation, the biggest strength of this G2 roster for fans that are just tuning in for the first time this year and haven't watched the domination of G2, Herc? How would you describe it to them?
This is probably one of the most in-sync North American teams that we have seen in a while. But not only that, I think what makes them so interesting is that
maybe I'll look into like double streaming, but I'm also not trying to be
but they also have these
the most serious yet, especially when it comes to live stuff.
For each individual team,
I focused a lot more on videos, just making videos in general.
To change and tweak just a little
normally I
bit.
just kind of throw something in the together
if that
and
makes
just
sense. And,
see how it
I feel like that's
sticks.
what makes them so dangerous, but also the fact that Daniel has been able to grow on this new roster with these teams and has been given the space to, you know, be a threat, right?
Think you can get rid of me?
Back.
Look at that.
Speaking of
you know what
threats.
that was? It was the Gen G boys. They went and messed up my camera. They went up, got a W, and they're trying to make sure that the G2 hype man isn't here to gas up G2. But just believe I'm back. I'm back. Space Station, they're also trying to sabotage as well. Unbelievable stuff happening here. But Herc, you were saying something about G2 or SSG. Keep going.
Yeah, I was just saying G2 are disgustingly consistent. Now I dare you to say something nice about SSG.
Oh, you want me to say something nice about SSG?
Yeah.
Oh, I can say beautiful things about SSG. First off, they're an amazing organization. I absolutely love how much they love Rocket League. And also the team as well. I mean, you got Chicago, former G2 player. He's a great player, great midfielder.
Start rapping
you
to
got
him.
Oxford hitting great shots yesterday to reset, free flip, double top left corner over there on DFH Stadium. You needed some of that today. And then you got LJ. I hyped him up earlier. I think he's an MVP candidate so far throughout the whole entire qualifier. Great on offense, but even better on defense. He's been controlling the pace. They're going to need him to perform if they're going to be G2 right here.
Hashtag G2, hashtag SSG. Votes in the chat. Reminder, G2 currently on a 6-game winning streak after the games they played on Friday. We can put up our predictions as well as get the coin. See if the coin will maybe go blue on this one.
Wow.
We'll
Best curse if I've ever seen it.
On the desk here, every one of us has G2. Again, the history says that this is a match for G2 to lose, so the prediction makes sense. Let's see what the coin says. It went Space Station. It's still going orange, man. I did sit here and flip it during the last match, by the way. It did come up blue a few times, so it's not just always orange. But that is kind of crazy that it's always coming up orange. Maybe need to get it up.
I feel like you got a weighted coin over there, Wade.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, Wade. Wade, what is that? So that's 4 matches yesterday, 2 for today. So it's 6 for 6 going orange.
6 for 6 orange.
Yeah, I could just sit here and try and. Well, that time it came up blue, so I don't know. It didn't come up blue on camera. There's orange.
Maybe it just knows something we don't.
There's blue, so I don't know. It can come up blue. Chat's got blue as well. G2 here gonna be going up for us. Maybe the coin loses one. Maybe the coin's the only thing getting it right here. Space Station gonna try and prove the coin right, folks.
All right, can we do the impossible?
In the top 4. They've made it
0.3% faith.
The entire season, but at
or
some point you gotta
chance.
go through the gatekeepers. Space Station versus the Samurai G2. It's next.
The Kings of North America in G2 face a new challenger in the semifinal. SSG went out like a coughing baby in Swiss, but they need to go absolutely nuclear if they want to rewrite this script.
Whoa.
I love that analogy. Listen, Space Station Gaming, you get another shot against G2. You've already made it into the top 4, but you can't be
satisfied. Kickoffs already.
Let's see what we have as this matchup gets started.
It's an exciting year if you're a G2 fan, especially Daniel coming down low,
and
you
like
had
this.
Beast Mode already going for bumps on the Chicago.
Good save, guys.
But Hawks are forced to make the save. G2 coming out swinging off the kickoff.
Yeah, defense still handled on the side of SSG. And the way they've been working together, you want to see a little bit more of that team play incorporated.
So far,
into match
we are not looking better.
Midfield is going to be key. As you already see LJ getting involved with it.
The touch.
And even Demos on the back end, just shutting down Atomic, not being able to allow G2 to get too much space.
You do not want to remember how this matchup went last time, and LJ
Wait,
got
Hawks not going to be able to wrap this on target,
forcing G2 to
but...
double commit, but for now, G2 seem safe. Space
Okay,
Station
we're looking
only
controlled.
able to score, what, twice against G2?
Oh, good move.
In that 4-game
really
series, the last time they met. So SSG gotta have way
that we
more
can get there
offensive
first,
output if they can.
Oh,
yeah,
that almost wrecked in.
Break into the mole, really push G2 to the brink. Right now, both teams battling here for that midfield control. Good pinch out from Atomic all the way to the back wall, and LJ will pick it up to transition across the field.
That's a double commit.
G2 now on offense. SSG working together here on the defensive end. As Hoxer plays it close, looking for a 50 on Atomic. Chicago trying to bear down the lane, and SSG able to get some distance. They've been able to play up on that blue side for a strong portion of time
that was
in game
important.
number 1, but you can't count G2 out just yet. Still
Bump out
a
of beast mode, not a demo, still
not
boost.
recorded a shot yet, despite all of their possession. As Daniel sets this one up,
that's kind of insane that we let that go through.
G2 score down the stretch.
I'm confused as to how we let this happen.
So free. The control to just
oh, because everyone is bumping into each other.
Time for Atomic to make the gap in the net, but this has been the three-man offense for G2. They know what they can get away with. They're one of the most confident teams in North America, and they're hungry for the crown. They're hungry for that rematch against Gen G. And SSG will trail behind. But Chicago against his former team, up against Daniel Hoxer in beast mode. LJ not able to get there first. We'll try to protect this back wall. Atomic stumble gets through.
Oh my God, Atomic! You can't give him this one for free.
That's sad. That's sad. Wish LJ made that defensive read. He did not put himself in a good spot.
That is a top-tier player in Atomic.
Yeah, SSG gotta hope that the only hands that are coming up, it is not in a surrender position. SSG able to be as competitive as they can. To try and weaken G2 last time, they went for a lot of those,
oh my gosh.
That was a close call. Atomic.
Gotta gone in.
Redirect on wide. Presence for G2 in the
Chicago,
midfield.
come on, find the demo.
Able to tip this further,
Or pass
but
it.
no one deep enough to continue the play. Maybe a chance.
Come on, be up. How do we not capitalize on that? I feel like we had a 3 on
Atomic will get the
1.
touch to not allow the follow-up.
You have to be careful too.
Good bump, but we don't have anyone there.
G2.
We have someone here,
Not
right?
trying to give up too many close opportunities here. They have been able to shut down SSG pretty well, but you are starting to see them trying to fight for some more space. Halfway through this game, though,
he just got
G2
demoed.
is sitting at 5 shots, 2 goals. Spacestation Gaming has still not been able
That's
to
gonna be a
record
goal.
shot on. As a bump on
Yeah.
the play, Atomic
Okay, this is not a good game 1.
G2 move on full steam ahead.
It's just that's not a good touch, and then no one's there. And
this moment, seeing his teammate
yeah,
get
Daniel just
bumped
has to
and
go for the bump.
dove
So
across, but still commendable effort out of SSG to save
Tough
what
break.
they can, but leave everything else behind. They always have to. SSG are always forced to play so much defense against G2. Still able to get to the other half on occasion, but just a warm-up game for SSG right now. G2 in pure domination mode as Daniel from up high. Atomic will keep even the offense going. Beast Mode wanting to help out Atomic.
Okay, that might be a goal.
Beast Mode just robs him.
okay, we're lucky LJ got that backflip on
Kind of
target
keeps LJ
away.
locked up. G2 won't even let SSG leave.
Hoxer needs to learn how to wall dash.
I mean, Beast Mode especially, he's been so consistent on getting to the ball so quickly. Anytime SSG look like they have some type of possession, he's always there in front to make it super awkward, and it's big time. Also, big shout outs to Daniel as well. He's got 2 assists this game. Been moving upfield, not necessarily needed in the shooting department, but everywhere else.
Wow,
he
that's a
steps up
50.
and makes really big challenges that give G2 a lot of room.
That was a great pass from SSG just to even get into
Hoxer, oh my gosh.
Threatens double Chicago up towards the ceiling.
I can't tell if that's
on the backboard. Daniel hugging
near
post.
their side.
G2 are so good at limiting the off you could score from, and Hoxer with the reset tries to get this down.
No, it's gonna be over there.
Chicago steps up to buy some time patience. G2 still have their backs against the wall, and this escapes LJ.
At this point, I'm assuming it is not my issue.
Yep, momentum gone, and that's been the name of the case.
It's
though.
not.
They've moved upfield, trying to develop an attack. They get pushed back from G2, have to play from their own back end, and again, not able to get anything anywhere department. What a defensive display here from G2. Not only have they pretty much limited SSG to 0 shots, but at the same time, they've just been able to increase their possession games.
We have no shots.
Shot count as well, and they have just
got to put the ball on net, man.
30 seconds remaining. This game 1 has been all G2 domination.
It has. I'm wondering if SSG can get on the board. Things ramping up for them. Transitioning is.
We looked really good in the first minute, and then we conceded once.
But they're learning how to crawl when you need to learn how to sprint, especially against North America's best. Even that 50 from Beast Mode is slowing things down to molasses as Chicago playing mind games against the
We at least got a shot on target.
G2 have layers.
2 shots on target.
SSG have not been able to peel them back, not once. And G2 will have a commanding start to this series, and they want more. But finally, we end game 1.
Tough start. It's not what we want to see yet.
G2. I have never seen a display like that, at least defensively, at least like around the midfield, where you have a team for a majority of the game. Chicago got shots in the final 10 seconds, and Hoxer had another follow-up, so that we reported for 2. But they almost didn't get any that entire game. I mean, G2 really shut them down that hard.
We had a lot of possession around like minute 1 or minute 2.
Done from Atomic. Again, a couple of goals from him from Beast Mode as
well.
well.
LJ getting 100 is not good. That's club million. That's a club million. It looks a little different on here, but if you look at the scoreboard in Rocket League, when you get 100 points and there's no goals, assists, saves, or shots, it looks like a million.
SSG had attempts of passing to each other just to establish themselves in the G2N, but you pointed it out as they didn't score.
OG would have been better against G2. I don't know. OG confuses me because they had a terrible major. Like only beating Limitless, getting swept by Vitality, getting eliminated by
that's gonna be the biggest thing here.
Luminosity. Like that's not good results.
Midfield space, but
then they beat
in the upper third,
LG and Gen.G yesterday, which is a very solid result.
And SSG couldn't really hold on to it too well. They tried to see if they could set up plays, but you can
I'm gonna be honest, I don't think anyone touches this G2 and really honestly Gen.G rosters. Gen.G slips up in Swiss randomly for just reasons, but other than that, no one touches G2 or Gen.G.
G2 are good at slowing this down, kind of a fake kickoff. Put SSG almost in a scoring position, but when you lose Hawkser so early, then the last two just fell back, not wanting to take
that might be in
against G2, but LJ starts the drive.
Good.
This just rolls on in.
And they caught him out. G2 all sitting there. There's a bump on the play.
I think Atomic going for that corner boost. I don't know if he didn't get it. He didn't go all the way for it, but cost him.
Spacestation Gaming get on the board.
Maybe that's how you punish GT. You catch them looking confident. And you try
it's an interesting perspective. That's what a lot of people theorized with like the NA Big 3 back in the day. It's like, yeah, they were better than everyone else, but no one had a chance because they would just see a name like Squishy on the other side of the field and be like, yeah, we can't win this. So
SSG can't be bystanders in this moment.
Probably a little bit happens here.
Like G2's defense not too tested yet. SSG trying to look for quality opportunities with that demo from
and I can see why that would affect
it says G2
these guys more so than
with the clear,
OG, because
G2
OG definitely has a lot more experience.
Oh, they are trying to utilize that free midfield, though. LJ couldn't get to the ball there at all. Hawkser did work getting past the first defender, but you got to be able to get a follow-up there. Now look at G2 with the possession the other way, just working together, playing this one off the sidewall. Atomic tries to get involved, but he gets bumped out of the way. Chance here for an attack on the side of Spacestation Gaming, but Chicago gets taken out, and now it's Beast Mode's ball again, straight back to SSG. This is what I mean when I say SSG have had a hard time just holding on to that possession. They get it pretty easily from G2, but when it comes down to people making those follow-up challenges, they're always too slow compared to G2, or maybe they're just getting bumped out of the way. G2's doing a great job of making them uncomfortable, though.
Yeah, when you're close to the ball, G2 will bump off of it. Can't really play too far and go for long passes because G2 have been beating SSG to the ball once the offense transitions.
I mean, they've also done a lot in their careers. Everyone on those teams has done a lot to garner the respect, but at some point you have to start playing like they're not, like you can't give them the space. Been able to kill time well,
but midfield now for G2, able to break through. Beast Mode against LJ now to the corner. Stepping up is Daniel. Not a lot of.
Thankfully, I think it seemed like Snowmen won't care too much because they have a bunch of young guns and not much to lose, especially this event. I'm worried about them next event now that there's expectation on them. But
G2 okay for now.
It wouldn't surprise me if that's what happened in the Gen.G versus Snowmen Swiss series, where it's like you have nothing to lose. Then they take a 2-series lead and it starts to fall apart, and then you start to realize, oh, this team is supposed to be better than us, and you can't pull it back at all.
Like to see that adaptation. You can tell this game is getting very physical. Lots of bump plays going around. We're halfway through, and G2 is now the one who hasn't been really in the scoring department. Only one shot from G2. Here's a shot.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad.
If Atomic can get here fast enough, G2 can make a counter.
No one finds it on target. Oh, Beast Mode almost had that though. Wait, counter.
Will maintain a 1-goal lead.
Oh, he tried, and even LJ.
Yes! Oh my gosh, what a transition.
And SSG extend the lead. Counterattack after counterattack. And
yeah, it also felt like after game 2, Snowmen probably thought they could win, and Gen.G also stepped up. Yeah, I think it starts to become real the closer you get to match point. Like, when you're starting, it's like, oh yeah, we're doing well. And then it's like, oh, they took one game, they took another game, and then you take a timeout. And honestly, if you're a young team with not much experience, it's probably already over. Once you like drop 2 in a row.
Adjustment to be made that they did make in game 2 now,
but
and they're just trying to
they're young. They've got a lot of skill. I'm excited to see what they do in the future.
Hawkser doesn't want to commit, so he's going to buy time for
this is a tall task for anyone, so.
Oxer not committing there is smart. He was able to slow down the midfield presence, and
that was a terrible
SSG
view.
Getting more
Just
creative
got
and
a
also just
face full of
approaching
boost
the
from Daniel.
The 50s differently and being able to
Daniel
have
pre-jumped
it look
that
more
yesterday.
even as SSG now have the lead with 90 seconds
Oh my
left.
gosh.
And
He's
G2
hitting
look
everything.
threatening on their own too with the counterattacks that have been saved. And it's because you're not just looking at
That's
one
not good
threat
for
out
us.
of G2.
Oh,
it's the
LJ
follow-up
looks
you gotta
effed.
worry
Oh my
about.
gosh, Beast Mode's still going for
Close
flippy
calls
sets
for
there.
G2 with that demo number advantage. Daniel can't beat the defender. Beast Mode, can he get this before Chicago? No. So SSG break out.
LJ pre-jumped and it didn't work.
LJ
What are
goes
we
up for
doing?
this. It's a straight
G2.
drop down, but there's a bit of a double commit. Lots of scrambling here going on both sides of the field.
I feel like that was a
lots of scrambling here going on
What
both
is happening?
sides of the field. Final minute though, SSG's the one in the best spot because of this. Hoxer playing it high off the ceiling. Beast Mode, good read on there.
Let's not jinx this game yet. I have zero faith in us to be able to hold on to this until I see the clock hit 5 seconds.
To run the clock, and they need to stop G2 up on offense. Good luck. The way G2 have played physically, they could be able to force an issue, but so far
I haven't paid
Species
enough
Gaming
attention
has been
to
up the task.
G2's like
Now that SSG
internally
are
how they
playing the
play,
ball closer too, they
but it wouldn't surprise me if that's the
approach these
case.
challenges
This is a
lot
problem
better,
if we're
as
not
I've already
careful.
mentioned. Okay, good save
Okay.
out of LJ. You don't want G2 to creep up on you in the last 30 seconds.
Is Atomic still
And
looking?
also,
Oh my
Atomic
gosh!
just
Yep,
has a
see,
free
there it is.
hit. SSG got a little too comfortable.
What did you just say?
Does Atomic
He said,
look like
"You
he can
don't
keep
want
up with the
G2
other
to
two
creep on
still?"
you in the last seconds, and there they go. Daniel, good win. Atomic, full faith, turns on the ball, punishes SSG for just getting a little too lackadaisical on the back end. 20 seconds to go here. You got to watch the kickoff.
Yeah, last play, G2 forced to play some defense. Chicago trying to cross from coast to
Nothing
coast.
that too quickly. Yeah, that's not new.
LJ, quick
Good bump.
50 to not let Daniel get the space. That's something that said G2 had too much.
Oh gosh!
SSG took that all the way.
Good move, Hoxer.
Got the SSG will sail by in game 2.
It's not just me with these audio issues, right?
great
Like it's a broadcast thing.
Towards the end, where Beast Mode got that beat on Chicago to try to keep them. They weren't able to turn it into much. Good challenge there. And just get
We're gonna try again. What's happening here?
putting up a leader on him, but
Endpoint.
good.
Sade.
Coming off of that log board early, but they continue to keep the speed up. They were beating G2 to a lot of losing, and on top of that, they were able to.
It's everyone else too.
People getting involved, bump wise, demo wise. It was a fantastic game.
It really was, and I don't know.
Both
how
of them now.
many
Okay, okay.
games y'all think SSG can take? Can they make?
I
the
figured it
big
wasn't me. Also,
upset? I
Chicago
mean,
dropping
this
106
SSG
and
missed out on the last major by a couple
winning.
of points,
Audio
and being
action
able to
mainstream, yeah.
finally get out of the quarterfinal is boding well for maybe their chances for SSG to get to London. But how do they fare?
The double
against a team
counterattack
like
was
G2?
huge
They
for
usually
that
always
game.
face each other
If
in
G2
Swiss.
scores
This
there
is
instead of
the
us,
first time
it's a
encountering
very different
each other
series.
in playoffs where the stakes are higher and the pressure is higher.
Yeah, it is very high, and then you start to focusing on these things, just like the second man challenges that are going to be a big factor here in this matchup. How fast you always have someone who can get that initial beat, but how is holding on to possession looking like? Are we just throwing the ball away because we're trying to beat them to it? Are we trying to play a 50 towards a teammate? These are going to be things that you have to start paying attention to when you play both teams playing at such a high level. And you got to
get that
SSG
center?
some credit
Not
too.
center
That was
enough.
a very dominant win in game 2. Maybe it's a sign of change.
This
here.
game 3 is
As
important for
SSG are
SSG. I
trying
think
to
if we
shift
take
the
this,
top.
it's a lot more hopeful. If we don't, it's
See how they
series is
can-
over.
Try and scramble the Kings of North America as SSG. have
I
a
can't
good
remember if
connect
we
on
went
all
up. No, we did not
fronts.
go up 2-1 in our
Fox
series
always has
against
a lot of
Gen G.
boost to play with, and maybe this allows him to
Oh, what are we
contest
doing? What are we doing? What are we
these
doing?
aerials that G2 go for, and oh, beast mode.
okay for
Didn't
now.
catch that one in time. Chicago tries to get this away, and LJ sends
There's
it
a
forward.
series against
Thankfully,
Gen
beast
G,
mode
Regional 2
gets
in the
back
quarters,
in time.
where our
Now it's
game
just that
3 was
scramble
back and
in the
forth. It was 1-1 in the
midfield where it's
series.
not G2
We were up by a
dominating
lot.
this
That's
time,
an
and that
important save.
redirect was almost nasty
And then we
out of
lost in
Atomic,
overtime.
but
We
a
kind of
good
threw the
save out
game.
of LJ
If we had
comes
won that
out.
game, it would have been a different series. And
This
then we
is a
lost
good
the
sign
series
for
4-2.
G2
We
to
looked
be
a
able to
lot
set
closer
Atomic up with a shot
than any
like
other
that.
opponents we faced.
Put in a good
Daniel's
amount of
gonna
pressure.
double this,
Daniel
but
now
it's
with a
not
double
in.
across, and I believe Beast Mode is nearby. He takes this one up. Yeah, Chicago and Hawks are both on that back wall, just covering
I like
each
to
other.
come out swinging
Gets the pinch
first.
out. And G2, no, Atomic not able to hold on to that. So
Oh,
SSG
sorry,
will
didn't get the
finally
right
get some room
connection.
up front.
Oh.
But for how
Oh, if LJ gets
this is
that
gonna be big for them
boost.
to keep that possession going
I think if LJ gets
forward,
that boost, we
but they
score.
get lots of space, and you got to be
Good
able
bump
to
attempts.
control that if you want to stop G2.
We're just going for the bump.
I think
we're not
SSG
ready
are
for it.
just being more aware of the ways that G2 are trying to
Chicago has
score, whether
nothing.
it's just these solo doubles coming through the post or having these drop
What are we
down
doing?
plays. SSG have shut down every single attempt, or most of them at least. Only
Mentality. I think
allowing
it's
one out of G2
I think it's an
in the
nameplate
previous
difference.
game is crazy.
Like, I think
Hawks
Hawks or Chicago are very solid players, but
you love to see having Hawks or having that more.
I mean, I don't think it's a question on whether or not you would take.
More access to this
If you think
real estate
Daniel's the
that
best
G2
player
have
on
been
G2, like
not
who would you
allowing
rather
them to
have?
for
Like
so long.
Beast Mode Atomic
Hawks
supporting you, or
tries
would
to
you
just
rather
fake
have
against
Hawks or
Atomic, and
Chicago beating you?
Adds and gets to LJ,
So.
but wasn't ready to cut this ball across quite yet. The
There's
play
only
is
so
still
much
alive.
mechanical
LJ
skill,
wanted the
or there's
drop
only so
down,
much
but
team cohesion you can
read
make up
better
for
by
when you've got
G2.
mechanical skill.
Space Station
completely
Gaming still
outclassing on
holding
the other
on to
side.
this ball, and that's the biggest thing here. Seahawks are.
Other than that, I'm not
Atomic
sure if
play
I would
out
agree
wide.
that
Beast was actually off the
mentality is an
ceiling, but
issue.
doesn't get the best touch.
I think
Chicago
LG
bumps
or
Atomic, so
LJ
Daniel
pushing
played
up
this
too
by
much is an
himself.
issue, but I think they might have started to fix
still
that.
holding on offense. G2 working out of this defensive zone. Can they get out?
Nice!
Stop LJ.
No, wait.
It's up,
Okay, good.
And it'll go in. Space Station Gaming get the first goal.
And Hawkster's mental,
here
you
we
gotta see
go.
that. Hawkster's very hit or miss.
Yeah, and Bates pointed out LJ just being an MVP candidate. We highlighted him. He makes the magic happen. Just when all the G2 members are there too, usually SSG, they gotta just build pressure to crack through G2, but
The freaking Hearts thing is in my
LJ,
way.
he's just the GOAT.
Dropping 05.
Okay, now that the goal is
Honestly,
scored, Hoxer,
whenever
saw
we
that.
start losing,
Okay,
I feel like we accept the
excuses
fact
here
that we
trying
could
to give it
lose
to LJ.
worse, and then we
But you
just
gotta
do
hit
it.
those. He might hit this one. Oh, Atomic able to get there in time. Chicago plays this to LJ. LJ trying to get back mid. Hoxer's waiting in the wing.
Why is my
and
internet like
he-
this?
This one will get
Do this. That's because I hit refresh.
past him, so I'll have to let it go. Still though,
I feel like
Station Gaming able to walk away with
if
the
it's
first one
close
here.
in the last 30
And they've been
seconds,
able
we
to
send the
lead for
house,
the
and then we
past
tend to
2 games
concede
now.
like
G2
3
haven't
from
been
that.
able to fight back from behind
Just
so
because
far
we're
in
like
the series.
doing our best to
But
try to
there's
make up
a
that goal.
lot
And
amount of
honestly,
time,
like
a minute 50
in the
left
series against
regulation.
Shopify, we lost 7-2
Yeah,
one of
with
those
SSG's
games.
defenders
I'm pretty
kinda
sure it
running
was
into
like
each other, it was
a 1 or a
great
2
that
goal
Hawkster
game with
was
a minute
able
left,
to
and then we just
get
tried to
ball
send
possession,
everything.
and now a pass
So.
to Hawkster heads
But we
to the
immediately
back
bounced back
wall,
after
and a
that, too,
double that
so.
Atomic denies. Getting real close. G2 know that the counterattacks are something you gotta watch out for SSG. That's how you're able to score and get a lead. Hawkster to the ceiling, gets a touch before Daniel. Wanted to find LJ Atomic there first. It's just about
That's not
being
great.
quicker.
Oh, LJ one-on-one with Atomic.
Can't angle this past LJ.
Oh my
One
gosh.
handoff to Chicago.
Please,
Atomic
Hawkster.
racing
No,
back in
no.
Daniel pops it up before Hawkster tapped it in.
Oh, I didn't think Hoxer was going to go.
Huge
And that
save.
was almost punished. He was sitting in a good spot. It was definitely a slightly risky play, but you saw what happened. Beast Mode had a free ball, tried to get the flip reset in.
Oh, yeah, no,
just
that's
didn't
a
get
problem,
enough
too.
power behind it. If Beast
We
Mode
don't
did,
believe
that
in
would've
ourselves to be
been
able to beat
open net
G2 or
there for
Gen G.
G2 to strike. Now G2
Or at least
playing,
as
not
much
a
as
lot
we
of time
could.
behind. We're in the final minute, time ticking down. G2
Obviously, you don't
gotta
want
keep
to face
going.
these two teams,
Yeah, and
but I feel like
G2
we've leaned into the
trying to go for
fact that
fakes and make it
we run
their
into Gen
passes
G
not
in
look as
3
obvious,
quarterfinals
'cause
a bit
SSG
much.
have been shutting
When
down so
it
many
should be the fans
opportunities
complaining
from
about that
the
more than the
ceiling
team.
to Daniel to Atomic. And then this didn't happen.
But,
with
I mean,
Aaron.
at least
Not
other
enough
than that,
balance
they're
for
proving
G2
it,
to find
and-
the rebound this time.
While I'd love to be the
Trying
best
to
team,
force
technically you
mistakes
only
out
got to
of
be one of the best
SSG
4.
has been difficult. SSG
So.
have had great defensive reads. Daniel with a 50 win. I'll go back as Beast Mode didn't get that touch, and Atomic may get overwhelmed. Pops
You're
it to the
spoiling me
side.
out here.
Hopefully he's gonna get and this-
How far behind am I?
Back, and he's got to watch it go in the back of his net. It was
We take
late
that.
in game 3. G2 needed to stay forward on a play, but this time they got punished for overextension. And Space Station Gaming are going to take 2 straight games here against G2 Esports.
I don't know. I'm
And G2
20
is
seconds
starting to get
behind.
those
That's
question
insane.
marks now. Are SSG gonna make
I'm a
the trip into
YouTube
the
homie.
grand
It just
finals? They're only
it
2
works so
games
much
away.
better.
And that's not the first time, or maybe
I don't
even
have
the
random
last
things
time
popping up
that
on my
Space
screen
Station
like
are gonna
predictions and
score
stuff.
by just
It's
having
a
these
more
hard
like
centered out
streamlined
clears
sports
and punishing
experience, which I
G2
prefer,
for being
rather than a
playing deep
gaming
into that
experience.
SSG half. So you know, you don't see a lot of mistakes out of G2. There's not opportunities to punish them, if that.
We're getting a timeout from G2 here. I feel like we have not seen timeouts when you're dropping 2 games in a row and being 2-1 down.
It's quite a statement.
We didn't see
for
OG
SSG.
take one yesterday. We didn't see
a series lead in their favor, but I am so
Cloud9 take one yesterday.
Some people weren't even expecting them to get a game, let alone be in this position.
Yeah.
No timeout here on the side of G2.
That's insane. We got to take this game. If we take this game, it's a different
the
series.
number has been very low. There's been a lot of bumps.
No, you're good.
The number's also been low, and I think, you know, just G2.
I can't believe Hoxer dodged out of the way on that one.
A couple of those physical plays. They have been able to get the bumps through, but Spacestation Gaming have been able to cover for each other very, very well. If somebody's in a tough spot, they're always ready to pounce on the jump. And that level of speed has helped them out tremendously in this series. But now G2, we're going to have to make some adjustments here because right now it does feel like Spacestation Gaming have gotten their number. They've limited their shot opportunities.
Okay.
They don't
If we take this game, then we start to hope. I can't let myself be happy yet.
To where G2 now are behind in the series.
Yeah, G2 may force you to play some defense, but SSG have looked amazing on that front. Just an LJ solo, the counterattacks, punishing G2 on extension, just SSG have to just deny G2 when they start
guys.
them. Now Hoxer just getting this
hello?
LJ. He's looking a bit awkward on the ball.
Okay.
Atomic, gotta be careful for him in these setups. It's now Daniel with 40. Trying to just guide this to the side, but who's waiting for him is a defender from SSG, so G2, as soon as they step forward, SSG are ready to trip them up.
What I will say is the last 2 times that G2 and SSG have played a best of 7 against each other, Game 7 overtime. The most recent time being in the wild card at Worlds. The time before that was Winter Regional.
Didn't expect the Chicago to go for
Winter Regional 2 last year.
Off the back wall, a little bit of
And
space
we
given
never
to
should have
G2,
taken
but
that one
Gizmo
to Game 7.
knocks that so
But
much further
we
away.
also
He
never
has to
should have
play
let us
catch-up there
get
on the
taken to
50,
7 in
which means
the
it's gonna
World
be
Championship
Spacestation
wild
Gaming
card.
ball, and G2 are starting to play reactive instead
should have had that one
of
sooner,
dictating
so.
the pace.
These G2 are doing a great job of hugging the sides of their net. This being
What is going on?
And Daniel gets in the way, and G2 salvaged that moment.
They salvage it because Chicago doesn't hit the ball. What happened? It was a free look that Corchette missing. I think Chicago was playing the touch. Lots of respect.
Shot in. Let's go.
But Reed finally nails the shot.
Come on.
Spacestation Gaming in front again.
Chicago heard you getting mad at him.
Why would they do that? We already got a top 3 roster.
G2 from getting out,
I hope it's some big other org.
SSG now with
I'm not
the
sure who it
lead,
could
and
be
they
anymore.
continue to shut
I wonder
out
what the
G2.
logistics are like with signing a 14-year-old.
Timeouts available, not even needing it. SSG downloaded what they needed to
I think if
do
Snowmen
against
makes
G2.
major, there's no way they don't
LJ
get picked up before
carrying
then
this
by at least
and
someone.
bringing
Oh,
Space
LJ.
Daniel trying to slow it down. Atomic shove that still saves the moment.
Now you're starting to wonder on the G2 camp, what's going wrong? I mean, I don't think there's things going wrong, but I mean, honestly, it's just what's going right for Space Station.
Sentinels and 100 Thieves are the ones that everyone's clamoring for, but I don't see 100 Thieves joining. Sentinels, maybe, but unlikely. They have a lot of other sports that they're focused on.
SSG's been covering for each other.
And beyond that, I don't really know who you could get.
Get this touch here, and they just
FlyQuest, maybe?
they have control. They're very confident.
I don't know if
on the
FlyQuest
ball,
would want to
and
come
it's
back into
showing.
Rocket League. It's been a minute
Atomic
for
with some
them.
big wins against 2 defenders, but needing that second man in a better position to strike quick and strike early. Because G2 need to find something, and this is uncharacteristic to see them in this position.
If your team gets
Now G2
eliminated, like if
ready to
Dignitas doesn't
sail.
make Worlds,
There's
could they
Daniel.
pick up the Snowman
The
roster
flick
before
to
the
Atomic, the double off the corner in front of the net, and Hoxer doesn't get the touch, but all
before
three
the
defenders
major?
of
Because
SSG
technically
are
they won't have any
there.
other teams in
And
RLCS.
G2 not going for demos and needing to find these bumps to
Probably
go
get
for
interesting with, like,
gaps.
Gamers 8 and
Daniel
stuff. That's a
to
shot.
beast mode, down low, sinks it.
Great pass play from G2 up front. Daniel forces Hoxer to pop it, gets a good follow on his touch. LJ can't get there in time, and the follow-up shot from Beast
T1.
Mode is so quick.
I don't know if they've had
G2
any
on the
interest in
board,
Rocket League, but I'd
all-time
love
in
to see
game 4.
T1.
This is, you thought was like coughing baby versus
Scribbles
nuclear
could be the
bomb, but
faker of
SSG
Rocket League.
doubled up since that Swiss encounter. Those were low-scoring games too.
Can't believe they got a
These
pre-trip
are
out of 2
two
of us.
very competitive teams. SSG.
This is the first time we've gotten 2
everything
games
they
against
can
G2 this season.
to get as far into the LAN or into this tournament so they get more points to get to LAN. And G2 mounting pressure. Daniel Not able to connect to beast mode, waiting for his opportunity. Bumps Hawkster off the ball. G2 from the ceiling. Beast mode with the demo in net, but who's gonna go for the shot? G2
I got winning
going
that
for the 3-man bullying SSG and punish them on
oh,
extensions before.
no way does Beast Mode read the failed Psycho
LJ
attempt.
is up to when SSG keep their heads above water.
They are starving us.
Here, gets the bump, and Beast Mode tried to see if he could get
There's
a
an
read.
opportunity.
Atomic
does not really control that well.
Buying time. What thing is, especially what I noticed when they were down 1 goal, is they're not committing everybody up on the ball. Someone like Beast Mode or Daniel is sitting back, waiting and trying to see if he can bait Spacestation Gaming to give them possession.
Middle!
Take that possession.
Hawkster! Come on!
Wait a minute! Just on a dime, lines up a double, stunning the G2 defense.
And Chicago is
huge
too, and Beast Mode does what he can to ball, but SSG are so fast.
I won't get excited.
And this is too.
I won't get too excited.
For themselves, not able to race.
I refuse to believe this is happening until I see us in a
SSG
series
will have
winning
a lead.
position.
If they keep this up in the next 60 seconds, they'll go to series point and have a chance to deny a shot at the throne for the first time in a while from G2. But G2 have stayed in that shadow for long enough.
Frustration might be setting in here on the side of G2. Beast Mode was so close to that last play, but ended up hitting the crossbar, unable to make the stop on the double. Now, they've got to send something here. 30 seconds remaining, only so much time. They're trying to play smart here.
Don't concede in the next
SSG,
30 seconds.
No. You just have to play the 50 game, get to the ball faster.
Oh, Atomic not being there is huge. Oh, good demo. Good demo.
That demo helps for Chicago.
Oh my gosh.
Gets a light touch. Daniel got it. Daniel with the equalizer.
What happened? Oh, Chicago's got no boost, and it's just a massive floater, and
Even
no one
with
else
the
is there to
demo,
help him.
and Chicago's stuck, like you said, with no boost
Rip.
and no hope. You just needed to not choke in that last minute. 20 seconds, and SSG.
We're not out of this yet.
Can they get this back? G2 close to equalize the series too. They can save
That's
this
not
moment.
good.
Beast Mode with the demo. Number advantage. Daniel
That's really not good.
With the drop down to Atomic! It's nuclear!
What a play! Beast Mode gets the initial bump, is on the back wall, takes out LJ.
Why are you a hater?
And no one able to stop the setup from Daniel. In the final seconds, G2 rise to the challenge.
What happened to Sentinels, by the way?
It is a challenge. Not one you would expect. And this next kickoff has to be big for SSG if they want to tie. And LJ have
Bro, just bandwagons on whoever the best team is.
Seconds go by, and Hawkster.
Yeah, you said you were an NRG fan when they were having success. Now all of a sudden G2's having success and you're a G2 fan? Flip-flopping.
They absolutely stole it. The way they did that, I mean, it looked like we were going to see Spacestation go on match point. I'm pretty sure some G2 fans were sweating when the game had started, just seeing, again, SSG come out swinging. You talk about their offense here. They got, look at their shots.
Oh
3
my
shots,
gosh.
2 goals. They're super efficient when they're in the offensive front. They've been like that the entire tournament. So is G2.
They put a lot of points on the board.
was
That
just
is a
when
bad
they
game
get
to
their
drop.
Opportunities, they make the most out of it. And for a while, G2 were battling from behind. But man,
that's
you
fair.
talk about clutch. And that is G2 stride. Take a look at the Mobile 1 high performance.
I understand cheering
gameplay.
for orgs that are also in
SSG
like
kinda
both
set the
sports, right? Because it
tone,
makes
but
it
you see
easier.
G2 strike back every single time.
Speaking of which, do not
Usually
make
SSG
Evil
have been so
Geniuses.
good
Is Evil
at
Geniuses still a thing?
identifying
Like, they
where
better
the
not
next
pick up
threat
this
is coming
Snowman.
from. Hence why they shut out G2 in the previous game. And then the one moment they had a 1 second delay, Daniel and the rest of G2 will score on you. What a game this has been. What a comeback for G2. And just even needing to be in a comeback situation is insane.
Sentinels?
But now we have a tie series, and we'll see who will get ahead in this next game.
You can cheer for Sentinels if they pick up
G2
Snowman, isn't he?
Destiny is to go to grand finals. And will SSG be the
What
ones to
orgs are in
deny them?
Valorant that...
This is gonna be a big
EG.
challenge here for Spacestation Gaming. Winner puts the
Fraudulent
series on
organization.
match point. We will have a guaranteed Game 6 on Neo Tokyo.
They really put the evil.
Question remains.
Not
G2 may have
geniuses, just
stolen
evil.
the game, but can SSG, how much more of this do they have in the tank?
We haven't
here?
taken the time out
They've
yet
been
either.
Playing strong Rocket League against G2
We're gonna see it.
For
We're gonna see a game
pretty much the
7,
entire
aren't
course of this series, and they've been ramping up. But you're starting to see G2
Oh,
find
good
each other. Look
save.
at the passing between Atomic
Come on.
and Daniel.
Oh, no
so
one's got
well,
boost for this.
But the block out from LJ to keep this one 0-0.
And going for these quicker, lower passes.
Oh,
G2
that's a
have had so
miss.
many options from
He pops it up. One more touch. Oh, reset.
With the reset and
Can LJ get a shot on this?
Going to just dunk this
No,
in.
he can't.
LJ will keep the play going, but what a challenge out of Atomic to make that space. Thankfully,
Oh!
had 2 members.
Oh my gosh! Come on!
Back where it came from.
Okay, LJ I think wraps this on target, but
Hoxer, first of all, great pass right off the
oh
ceiling.
my
LJ,
gosh,
he
great
basically
cleanup
could've
though.
scored. The Hoxer secures the goal, but that one should belong to LJ.
Okay,
My
Riot,
goodness,
piss off.
that's a
Riot should have
big
let them
time
get
player right
out.
there.
No one likes them.
SSG
Also, wasn't like
just making G2 think
Potter's
twice,
still on the org,
needing to have a
which I'm kind of sad about.
to stop
But
SSG from getting away with stuff like this.
there's
And
no way
there's
that falls
LJ
in too, right? Okay.
just throwing and booting this out. Now starting to steal boost. That's how you
Maybe
can
it's
slow
because
down a
winning
team
like
G2.
a bunch of games.
For now,
I mean,
Chicago
they won
and
what,
Hoxer
like 7 games of
accomplish the
Valorant and
pass.
declared
Can't
champions
just
of the world.
have the red carpet towards the net. SSG gotta
All of a
break
sudden they
down,
have a
break
longer
them
season.
apart.
Everyone's
Beast
gunning
mode
for
to
them, and
Atomic.
it's like,
No,
oh,
Hoxer
we're
intercepts.
2 and 3.
This is stunning. I've loved it though.
Valorant's
I
very
absolutely
fluid as
love
well.
What I'm seeing out of
Like in terms of
Spacestation
who's at the
Gaming.
top.
Even with G2 being able to respond, having them look a little awkward on defense, SSG's offense just feels
That's great.
so fluid. And the way that all the guys been playing on the field has just been nothing short of phenomenal. Let's see how long they keep it up for. It's a lot of time here left in game number 5 as SSG trying to
Come on, Hawk, turn
to
on this.
extend that score line. G2
Good 50.
now
That doesn't fall in,
battling
though,
to fight
unfortunately.
back. They've been down, I want to say the last 3, if not 4 games this series. SSG's always scored first.
We scored first in every game except for game 1.
And holding on to that lead is a different story against a team like G2, and both teams have done a good job of stopping any rebounds. Now G2 want to mount this
Hawk
pressure,
doesn't
but
have enough
Daniel
boost to
playing
actually
too
get a good
close,
follow on
so
this.
SSG take the ball high. Atomic
What
has been good
orgs
at
are in
shutting
Valorant
down
that aren't in
every
Rocket
play
League?
and at least slowing it
Specifically
down
North
out of
America
SSG
based. That would be
as we enter the
interested
second
in
half.
picking up
Low scoring game affair,
Snowmen.
just like in Swiss.
We've got a good team
with
of young
that demo
prodigies.
favoring G2. Beast Mode now
We need someone to pick 'em up.
surrounded by defenders. Atomic giving a chance for Daniel to make a play, and that gets the nod
Why
by
so many
Hoxer.
big orgs left EU
Be careful though on the
RLCS?
side of SSG, very low boost
I
here.
think
But
no, they're
pinch
Brazilian.
out. Now Daniel has to use some boost to get back into the play.
They've shown some
Beast
interest
mode,
in
giving a
Brazilian
touchdown.
Rocket
Atomic
League,
couldn't get a
but
bump on LJ, so LJ can follow
Sentinels,
this one up now.
Loud are also
Trying to
Brazilian.
make things awkward. He gets a
I don't
bump
think
on
they'll pick
Beast
up
mode, but it's a
Snowmen.
good clearance from Atomic.
Yeah, I guess it's just
forcing
Sentinels and 100
Spacestation
Thieves
Gaming
left
back,
that we
but
don't
they've
have in
got
the
a lot
Rocket
of room
League.
here in the midfield. Solo play after solo play.
C9's back,
Daniel
son.
do? High off the ceiling, gets the double, but it's not on target. Atomic follows.
That was a
Be blocked
development,
away from
like,
Chicago.
last
Beast mode
week.
in an awkward spot, but he's keeping this play alive. He gets
Oh,
it to
that's a
Atomic,
miracle.
but Atomic can't connect. Could have been a chance for G2 to get on the board.
It's tough for G2 to get these passes going. SSG really limiting those options. As G, oh, Daniel with the
Yeah, they
run.
picked up a nobody roster.
Players, SSG.
A nobody
have
roster,
plans. Plan B all the way to Z.
It's
The
Esports
song
World Cup
every
money.
shot
It literally
that's come
is.
out
Like
of
it
G2,
screams
which is
Esports
a-
World
now
Cup
at
is
8
funding us to pick up a Rocket League
shots
team,
out
so
of
we're gonna do it.
G2.
Just so that we're in the scene.
And still nothing. Looking like shutout territory as SSG.
No, we can't.
enters the
Don't say it. We're
blue
looking like. Don't say that, Levin.
Enough
It's
power
way
on
too
this
soon to be
ball
saying that.
for LJ, but he stops the
Yeah, if Chicago
transition,
good- aw.
forces Beast Mode to take a step back, but he buys time for G2's defense to get comfortable again.
How much more can G2 throw at him? Atomic now. Flip reset. Oh, force 2 up. Beast mode, free ball.
Get the
Trying to
backboard.
play the double, but Hoxer got back in time. Hoxer looks for a double off the sidewall. SSG, a little bit of room here, but they got to fight Daniel for possession. Chicago, no
I mean,
boost as
Optic
he
is
goes
technically
up.
an org,
He's
but
able
who
to
do they
get
even
past
have? They have a
Atomic.
Halo
So now Beast Mode
team
has taken from his own back wall.
and
Spacestation
probably still
Gaming
COD,
have
but
a
like other than that, I don't
big
know.
stronghold
And they just
here
left, so
in this
I don't know if
game,
they're
but the
interested in coming
fragile
back.
lead of
They're probably
4-0
not
means
Esports
all
World
G2 have to
Cupping
do
it.
is break out
Don't give me
once.
phase
Daniel
ever,
trying to lead
please.
that,
Oh
gets the block.
no.
The
Oh, he
Atomic
missed.
flip, but he didn't actually have enough boost to make connection with the ball. 30
Big win.
seconds remaining here in regulation. We've seen G2 score late. We saw it last game. Can they do it here? Drop down, Daniel!
Oh no.
And that ties the series in the last 20 seconds. Atomic
Every
does it
time.
again to Beast Mode and back to Daniel. The trifecta offense from G2 that we love.
Oh yeah,
to
you're right. I
see.
forgot to do that.
And it was all or nothing. They knew they had to commit. They had to risk it for the biscuit. And SSG could not respond, but they have 20 seconds to do so.
We're done cheering for Daniel. In this
LJ
house, we no longer
getting
cheer
this
for
back
Daniel.
to Chicago.
Oh,
And
gosh,
Daniel
please.
On his trail, harassing them. Beast Mode hoping for the dunk. SSG go forward.
Hoxer?
missed touch, but at least Chicago steps up, maybe being called off the play. Here comes Daniel and beast mode at the 1 second mark with the demo. Chicago wants to stop the ground. Daniel keeps it going.
Nah, dog. Nope. Overtime.
Going,
please win this overtime.
Overtime here. Winner puts the series on match point. This series so far has delivered, and it continues to.
LJ! Yes! Come on! Come on!
Space Station Gaming put the series on match point.
This Atomic kills it in the midfield.
Huge bump by LJ.
Blocker enabling Chicago to get the OT winning goal against his former team, and one game closer to upsetting G2.
When we actually close these games out, we should have had game 4.
Expected. Holy
we should have had this
game.
And thankfully we did. If we didn't, it was for sure over.
I can't believe this. I genuinely can't believe what we're watching here. Space Station Gaming, wow. Even with G2 striking back late, they keep being solid there off the kickoff.
What are we saying? What are we saying?
LJ, great idea to go for the bump there, creating a lane for Chicago. And every time G2 hit them, they hit them back twice as hard. Space Station Gaming want this series. They want the grand final. And if G2 are not up to the task, they will take that.
Remember, I'm not going to say it yet.
G2.
Wavepunk said something on the desk yesterday that we're pretty close to both of those things happening. That shot was nuts. That shot was nuts.
Those are those opportunities that G2 have been able to strike.
I got to get my tweets ready in case, you know, we actually no matter what happens, I have to get my tweets ready.
Why?
Should also update the graphic if I'm not careful.
Have 11 shots.
Right, they have 11 shots, but I mean, Space Station's defense has been set pretty well. They've been looking for each other. I mean, the way that their transition game has been pretty solid. They've been playing super fast.
Timeout G2. We still have our timeout in the bag. That's important to note.
Of course, we do have a timeout here for G2 as they get ready for Neo Tokyo. And you got to think, they've been, you said,
I don't know if you were here for the stat I delivered, but the last 2 times that G2 and SSG have played a best of 7 in Rocket League, it has gone to a Game 7 overtime. World's Wildcard back in August, Game 7 overtime. Winter Cup last year, Game 7 overtime.
Had to fight down to the final seconds to get going, and for them,
both of those times heading into the series, it looked like it was nowhere near like. In Winter, it felt like G2 should have won that series before Game 7. In World's Wildcard, it felt like SSG should have won that series before Game 7. Today, G2 should be winning this before Game 7.
This was the best Swiss G2 have performed in.
But they can't now, so.
One game out of all their series. And SSG, on the other hand, they're the ones who had to battle through a couple of rounds, going the distance against teams that, well, aren't G2. And look how leveled up Space Station looked. This is the best SSG has looked in a while. And what incredible performance now to go to series point with an upset on the line.
For first this ball.
I'm pretty sure I can confidently state and accurately state this is the best Space Station gaming I've looked all season.
Bags.
Wow. LJ.
Oh, bummer on the demo there. Waited a little too long.
Let's try to get a demo out. G2 down in the series. A chance for a top 4 exit.
Dang it!
Not happy with it though. First goal to G2.
I mean, we kind of expected that.
Hugging the ball close, getting LJ in an awkward spot, and Daniel getting the ball away from the defender to set up the team. G2, when they all commit all of those offensive members.
Also, do the guard exist still, or are they completely fraudulent?
Before SSG clear and have anything to say about it. And this is the first time in a while that G2
and Ascend, for that matter. Ascend was like a big org up and coming, and then they just disappeared. But they're European.
It did, but this is also big too. This is the first time in a while G2 have scored first. Now they get to dictate the pace a little bit, and you see them still on the offense. Daniel and Atomic both go for the same ball, though. They have to be careful not to overexert themselves on that offensive stretch.
But like, did the organization itself dissolve after they were not allowed into franchising?
No, he gets demoed out to play. Hoxer, no boost, has to stop.
Oh yeah. First Game 7 since the start of the season.
Work out. Good save from Hoxer.
And good protection on the back wall. SSG's defense has been stoic. They've just forced G2.
It's tough to make it to Game 7 when you face Genji every single quarterfinals.
With the fakes to try and force G2 to pass, which they struggle to execute on a consistent level. Well, that's because SSG are forcing you to play perfectly too. Where it's usually G2 that are relentless when it comes to their offense.
Nope, that's out.
Daniel crossing the ball across, and this is dangerous. Atomic with the 50 win that LJ catches perfectly.
G2.
Now against Daniel, just tries to bump him off.
I think Gen G has figured out how they want to face G2, but other than that, there's a reason G2 is not dropping series to anyone except for Gen G. And Gen G is dropping series to other random teams.
Spacestation Gaming looking for a way in. G2 sending them back.
That's tragic.
Beastmo, bore down and in.
All right.
What a shot!
Cheered for the guard during the Ascension, so not sure he's going to be G2 fan, but I don't know what happened to the guard other than they didn't want to pay for franchising. They also laid off their entire workforce. Like, they were down to 5 people. Yeah, I don't know if they're still around.
They've had in a while. SSG scoreless, 2 minutes down. Now LJ watching Daniel. Getting it past 1. Chicago ready off the back.
What are some big orgs in Ascension that don't have Rocket League teams?
Can't get to this ball first, but SSG.
Is Optic still in Ascension? That could be a goal. We're careful about it.
But 2 defenders in his way, forcing them to go high. Chicago senses that too. And gets G2 scrambling for it. Now Chicago looks for bumps, but LJ didn't recover the ball, so heck, Hawkster, let's go for a play. And G2's backs are against the wall.
Yeah, once again, SSG's knocking at the door halfway through this game. They haven't been able to get anything going. Hawks was the only one with shots. 2 shots and 2 saves. That's all they have numbers-wise. On the side of Spacestation Gaming,
it might just be FlyQuest.
G2 trying to control
or Team Liquid. I don't know if they want to come back in North America, though.
To the back wall. Good touch there from Daniel to knock it out. And
they also just complain about how unprofitable this esport is, so I don't think they're going to come back in 2 days.
Good challenge from Chicago. Maybe SSG could even get a counter here.
Nope, that's off.
Won't be able to get back in time, but thankfully for him, the shot is off target.
Would have been an insane double if Atomic
MXS, yeah, both Moist and Shopify are already in North American RLCS, so.
The defense to reestablish itself. As Hawkster gets
with what I've seen about FaZe the past 2 days, I don't know if I want FaZe in Rocket League anymore.
G2 is starting to panic with SSG still hunting for their first goal.
I need bigger EU orgs. Like, I need Fnatic.
Just had this wall in
oh my gosh! Oh, that got saved.
By Daniel. Very close.
Oh, Chicago running low on boost.
Oh, Chicago! No, LJ does too soon.
Contact. Ball will go away. Spacestation Gaming so close.
I need like big EU orgs like SK or Fnatic or Team Heretics or Giants to actually like pick up a roster and know what they're talking about. I don't know if you can do it with Giants. Or Giants could get. I mean, Luna Galaxy now has my different kill, but that would have been a good pickup for Giants.
Daniel, not 1v3.
I need a Team Queso. Pick up like a nobody team again. Just so we know who's next up. Quadrant. I desperately want to see Quadrant back. I loved Lando Norris when he was with us.
They need to make this happen. LJ with a good win there. Causes Beast Mode to get
Heretics? No, we don't have an RL team. But there's no Spanish players that are actually exceptional at Rocket League. And the only ones that are already signed. So.
35 seconds. SSG need to score here and now, or we're going to Game 7.
The 50, but Chicago too far away, so Beast Mode's going to get the clearance. G2's going to start getting boosted up as they get ready to cut off Spacestation Gaming for the remainder of the game. We have to see some magic,
Game 7.
And we are not seeing any. We are only seeing one thing. That is G2 domination as they are going to force Game 7. That's a big-time goal for Daniel.
With the side of his car, too. What a read. And G2 after the timeout. Completely flip this around. Their offense and output, it's finally able to generate the goals that they really want. And leaving SSG scoreless, I think, is what really sticks out to me. They've had close calls. Maybe Chicago can have a send away here, but we'll go to Game 7 with G2.
It's always Game 7.
Reinvigorated.
Yeah, I mean, they started
all 3 went for a kickoff. That doesn't surprise me. We're down by 3. Just make something happen if you can.
And also just being able to limit the opportunities from Spacestation Gaming. That was the G2 you expected at the start of the series. The timeout worked out great from Sathu. Now we end up having a timeout on the side of Spacestation Gaming before we get into Game 7. Because again, that was a pretty big loss for them, especially how this series has been going. You need time to talk it over. They cannot afford
to keep
G2 on that same pace, feeding in the Champions Field.
Well, first of all, do we have
any
of these
really needed
decided
to talk about was those passes and how they can set each other up well.
Top Cougars missed.
How to communicate what
no
the play is going
way.
to be because SSG are forcing a faster pace of play. And just right off the first goal, G2 had a pass. I think it was to... I forgot to who, but it's one of them. Daniel, Atomic, and Beastmo both had a goal each. And G2, the synergy, the chemistry has already been improved so much after that timeout. And even get shots from the midfield, they've brought out all the stops.
Yeah, they have. I mean, it's just been super quick.
So in best of sevens, obviously these are all not best of sevens. There, best of 7, game 7. Best of 7, game 7. The time before that was... Oh, I'm missing one. I'm missing one. Here's a best of 7. Yeah, this is a best of 7 as well. This is in the Nissan Classic, Spring Regional 3. The last time was literally Spring Regional 2 of 2022. May of 2022 was the last time we had a best of 7 between these two teams not going to game 7. Before that, it was a game 7. It's always a freaking game 7.
They had clear shots and they just simply missed the mark. They've got to be able to clean
It's also
that
pretty
up,
dominant on one side.
next game goes to
This isn't a rivalry. They always...
It's been so back and forth. G2 with a game 1 shutout. SSG at the response. Then they started to pick things up. G2 stayed in their shadow throughout the whole series. We go to game 7 with G2 getting back into form. Execution, leveling up, and SSG. It's all up to this. Can they have the upset?
Yeah, no, I'm impressed we were able to keep that the entire time.
Lives here.
I mean, we went up, we dropped the first game, and then we went up 2-1, and then should have closed out that game 4, which we will look back on no matter what happens here. But like, we got game 5 as well, so we never lost 2 games in a row.
No timeouts. No room for error. Only one team can go on to the grand finals between Spacestation Gaming and G2. Here we go.
That's not good. Okay, someone's got to get back for this. We're not getting back for this.
SSG go for
We're
demos.
good.
They were a demo-heavy team against G2 in the past, trying to destructure them, trying to make them uncomfortable.
Good save.
And they decided it was less about the demos and more about playing quicker, as you said.
Oh, that's
before.
not good.
That's a big
Someone's got to get on the backboard. Oh, that's not a good touch. And the fact that Atomic's going for this over the other.
Attacking the ball this time, but
we got to get possession. We got to get boost. We got nothing, dude. Okay, we're full. Oh, good cut by LJ.
The mid boost timer.
That's not the move we want. Okay.
Now the ball will go the other
Can you
way.
bump?
SSG trying to make G2 uncomfortable. Chicago starts this one off. Goes to Hoxer. Picks this one up. But Beast Mode quick to cut it out. Daniel plays that one down into the corner.
Good half volley. Huge half volley considering we got demoed.
They're not trying to get that consistent G2 pressure in the space. We know G2 knows how to
Beast Mode is beating everyone on the team right now.
SSG
That's not good. Oh, huge save. Shot's gonna come in.
Chicago!
Chicago? What on earth?
Save! Oh my god! And what a clear 2 previously when G2 had a demo.
Okay, good touch. Shot.
Dangerous position.
Like it gets so loud the minute we have an
SSG
opportunity.
to be down a man in that spot now. Oxer, LJ.
Okay, we've gotten 2 demos. That's not a great touch, but Beast Mode's got a lot of boost.
Chicago looming below Beast Mode. Let's now pitch this off
Where's
the
the
wall.
50?
LJ
Gives it
couldn't
to
slow
Chicago.
it down. Here comes G2. How do you approach Chicago here? Atomic kills the ball to Daniel to the right side.
Oxer can't get a
Beast
second
Mode
touch.
awaits his
Reset.
opportunity.
LJ save. Okay.
Reset with 2 defenders. SSG, hold on.
They hold on, but only for a moment. That clearance from LJ goes straight to Beast Mode. LJ couldn't get a piece of it.
Gotta get it.
Back, trying to give it to Hoxer.
I'm surprised
Hoxer
Hoxer
with
even let that
control.
go like that.
Maybe a chance for Space Age Game, and Hoxer's looking for bumps. Gets a demo.
Good cut for now. We gotta have someone back. We're there. We're there. Chicago's gonna get there first.
Chicago should be able to beat out Daniel.
Not a good time to lag.
Looking for a 50 on Atomic. That gives SSG a
Oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna be comfortable no matter how much pressure we have.
Got a bump on Beast Mode, but he jumped early enough
Pogo.
to cut things out. You're watching both these teams.
Oh, that's not good.
To see if they can set up an open look.
That's a miss. That's a miss.
The shot won't be able to get there. Chicago, another save from him.
Oh, huge defensive play by LJ.
But G2
Good clear as well.
Okay,
Hoxer, please be the first to
that
this.
orange half. It's now Hoxer just buying time, but LJ and
Chicago's
him
beat.
were low
Chicago's
on
beat.
boost, needing to just take
Oh,
a
no.
second to breathe.
That's off.
And Daniel
Good.
trying to choke
Okay,
him out
someone
with
else.
Atomic
They can't get it on target, though.
close. He gets stopped right at the goal line. And
Hoxer won't get back to this.
keep themselves
Or get the
afloat
bump,
for
which is
now,
kind
but
of tragic.
G2 want to sink this once and for
That's
all
off.
to
Beast Mode's gonna
Atomic,
shoot.
to the
Good save.
backboard. Beast Mode, what a denial from LJ.
Okay, Hoxer getting that touch
We
cleanly is
heard he looks
important.
even better on
He's looked good. SSG though low on boost. G2 trying to play
Hey,
around
it's still 0-0.
Defense has just been so good for Space Station right now.
Oh, big clear.
Big 50 win too there for LJ.
Okay.
Chicago's got boost in the back end. And he may
They don't have anyone there. Okay, we cannot let Daniel get that 50 off. Now LJ's in a terrible spot. Like, that was the problem. We actually, like, we were fine when we were pressured. It's just Chicago took too much time clearing that ball. And then Daniel getting the 50 is, okay. We got to come up with something in the next 141.
And the Triforce of offense of G2, the Kings of North America, lead in Game 7 with less than 2 minutes to go. But SSG off the kickoff.
No.
Chicago can get that touch first. But LJ's a pillar in the back that won't let it be open. But he needs help.
Oh, we didn't get a
bumper
demo there.
LJ stopped at the midfield, but G2
backflip
looking to weaken that defense. SSG has stopped everything thus far, and G2 want to box them in.
Can they get out? They gotta have a sense of
LJ fake.
They gotta be also
Almost had
it. Time is gonna tick down here for SSG. G2 are exactly where they want to be. They're even being a little bit more deeper in the rotations, not necessarily going too aggressive.
That's off for now, but don't let him get a second touch. He missed it. He actually missed it.
That could have been a big time goal.
That would have been it.
G2, final minute. Space Station Gaming struggling to get out of their own half.
See if LJ can lead them to that using the reset, and Atomic just very
Actually,
patient
50.
on how to approach that from the midfield.
There's no one backfield.
For Beast Mode to get the touch. Atomic taken. Chicago will save it.
How have we not conceded?
By Daniel, Beast Mode using most of his boost.
Genuinely.
Try and have the drop down. The rest of G2 had escaped.
We got 30 seconds. We got to get some offense.
Wants to get momentum, but Chicago helps them break through to set up to LJ.
LJ's just got a bump. That's not much.
Where's the follow-up out of SSG?
Come on, Chicago.
Can't do it all on his own.
Needs a little bit of help, but wait, he might get the free ball. LJ up,
50.
Up to meet him.
Come on. We're always sitting underneath there. Daniel's got no boost.
Chicago, no, he couldn't get him in. Hoxer has to keep this play alive.
That's a bad clear for us.
SSG, the ball gets sent away, and their hopes of making the grand final maybe get sent away with it. This one off the back wall. Can they keep it up? Beast Mode with the challenge. Daniel gets the win, and G2 stride to the grand finals.
And this is destiny. They are undeniable. They
I can't be too upset. I'm a bit upset, but I can't be too
upset. To the finals, like you said, in Game 7 fashion 2, SSG put up such a fight. They were in the series lead. SSG were on match point, and it was G2 that had to come back, not only in the series, but in the games themselves. And after the timeout, G2 were the ones that were able to just reset mentally and on the field, and that's all she wrote.
Man, that was just a semi-final.
Oh my gosh.
What a series. I mean, you gotta give credit to Space Station Gaming that series. They played phenomenal Rocket League, and that's exactly
should have won that 4-1.
Space Station Gaming coming
Fair.
into this first open qualifier. They played so close. They had G2 on the brink. They had this series on match point in Game 6. Hey, but G2 just were able to battle back time and time again, and SSG
this
couldn't
is
close
sad,
the series
dude.
out. We don't know if things will change in the future.
Oh my god.
But the future
okay,
does look
GC.
bright for Space Station Gaming.
Get out of here.
There's been a lot of Rocket League. This series demanded greatness from Space Station. They delivered, but ultimately, G2 Stride have a ticket in the grand finals with Gen G Mobile 1. We gotta take a break. We'll be back with more RLCS.
G2 is down one and tied the dueling. They're the most dangerous team I've seen in my life. Yeah. I mean, those were some good semis, though. Oh, gosh. Half the time, I'm a fan of just the content farming. The other half the time, I'm like, what are we doing?
We're all better off with an ally.
Get back to work.
That is true. (16-3) in shots. That's tragic. That is true. Heartbroken, but what do I even say? Ooh. All right. Wait, I gotta find the myth tweet from the other day. All right, we got 6 minutes before the finals. I'll probably stay live for it. Why not? Time to keep improving. This is important. Better keep that mentality. Gotta like the Snowmen tweet. Oh, man. It's always a game 7. We did not get it. Okay, we got to keep checking what's happening over here. Wild beats Solari. Yeah. I mean, players are bound to make mistakes eventually. Chicago's looking like he's fitting a lot better this split than he did last split. So it's just a tragic slow play. Who's on Dignity Esports even? Nobody that I know. Who beat Top Cougars? Oh, Whiskey Drink. And Gomb. Okay. And this person who I do not know. 100% we know them. Did they make a roster move? Triton, Louis P. Crispy? They might have. I don't really know. Flame is coaching them. Interesting. This one will be interesting. Who's on George? Growly, Breezy, Hibbs. Okay. If I knew this team was this good, I would have paid more attention. This is a squad right here. Endpoint making it. Solari making it. Who's streaming this? Is that the real Jar Jam? Doesn't even say. Grid reserve resolve. They better still make it too. 3 minutes. I can close out of the head-to-head history. Gotta see the heat map of it. SSG is probably on the level of complexity. I'd agree. So one of these will go in and spit the G2 strats in Season 7. Facts! Alright. Let's just go into the Rocket League category. Who's getting the most views? Okay, no, I can't find it. Resolve. There we go. Ads immediately. Only 13 seconds ago, so. 2 minutes left. SSB. I mean, I'm completely biased, so I will absolutely tell you that SSG is better than complexity. But I also recognize the bias, so I don't really voice that too loudly, especially since there are legitimate arguments for complexity being better. I mean, they got taken to 7 against Ninjas in Pajamas. Speaking of which, they're happening basically right now too. Because for some reason, everything has to happen at once in this esport. Wait, no, they start at 3. It's not 3 yet. We don't need this. We don't need this slander. I'll time you out. Do the ads only run if I'm watching it? Oh yeah, I would feel like they would too. It's definitely a closer matchup than LG versus Complexity. I mean, these viewers have gone down 30% since we started, so this series is probably over. Maybe Liquipedia is more up to date. They are, yep. So Gridiron Resolve is in. Fast Forward is in. Those were the 2 question marks, right? Yeah. Okay. Talk about pure talent. Maybe Complexity has better players, except LJ, but SSG looks way more adaptable. Yeah. We never really saw SSG versus Complexity towards the tail end of that season last year. I think you can make a lot of arguments multiple ways. Because you had the roster of AJG, Razeblow, and CRR. They made LAN as the 4 seed.
Dread it, run from
they made
Destiny arrives.
They made a finals
It's the same
in the second. No, in the first spring regional. We made the finals in the last spring regional. We were more consistent throughout the split too, because they got the 4 seed, we got the 1 seed. As much as people claim that's a fraudulent 1 seed, at the end of the day, it's a fraudulent 1 seed, but the 4 seed's still behind that. And I think the main argument for Complexity being better than Spacestation at the end of last season is how closely they played Liquid and Carmine Core.
I'm
and Vitality at Boston.
You know what I'm right, Wave?
And the fact that they did slightly better at Boston, but they really didn't because they didn't run into the 2 major winners. In double elimination, they ran into Rule 1 and Vitality. That is a major winner. But I think the Dorito was a definite downgrade from AJG. They have remedied that by picking up Diaz, who probably an upgrade from AJG, definitely an upgrade from Dorito, but is also unproven. So. Oh no, Complexity can't compete with the G2s or Gen Gs. I mean, they show that at the major for sure.
Who play too much defense, but I don't.
They also took Carmine to 5 at the major too, but that was everyone was complaining about Carmine more than praising Complexity there. Complexity don't know how to close series if they make it close from the looks of it. Because yeah, Game 7 loss against Carmine, Game 7 loss against Liquid.
Yeah, what a series.
Game 5 post-miss AJG against Vitality last year. They pick up the player with the least amount of ice in Dorito, and then they proceed to lose in Game 5 to Carmine Core. They beat Luminosity, but also not the biggest accomplishment. Plus, no one jumped. I mean, Razebow's double tap, I get it. It was impressive. No one put a hand up, though. Like, the minute he hit that first ball, it's like, he's going to do this. You know he's going to do this if you don't do anything. And they didn't do anything.
Keeping up the pressure, keeping up the shots. SSG, they didn't have that many opportunities. Fighter did in games 1, 2, and 3, and that really just made all the difference.
KC always wins in EU. I think they would, yeah.
Case of the world, though, that they are here. They are on or near, very near the level of G2 Gen G. And
they didn't win at the major, but like,
they're getting up.
I don't think they would have a harder time in North
America. Game 7, enough of the sweeps there.
They'd still have some competitive series against G2s and Gen G. But
we've seen G2 versus Gen
I mean,
G
they
in
had
grand
competitive
finals
series
so many
against
times
Vitality,
here. We're in for a
BDS,
treat. We know this one's going to be competitive.
Gentlemates,
Which
technically,
team
if
is
you
gonna
consider going to
have
Game
the
6
spice
competitive.
and the clutch? Who's going to have the ice today? That's
Like,
the
there's
only
still
thing we've got
there are
left to
more
find
good
out,
teams
folks.
in Europe
The
and there are in
Battle of
North
the G's,
America
G2 versus Gen G.
Itachi was
for
right
your
when he
grand
said
finals
that
of Open
EU was sending
Qualifier
4 teams
number
that could
4.
potentially win a major.
Lemon,
North
where you wanna
America's
start?
not doing
What
that.
do you want to talk about?
Oh, it's tough. Both these teams have gone back and forth on LAN and online, where Gen G, I don't think this is a one-sided affair for G2, especially with how they were taken to 7. Yes, we can compliment Spacestation all we want, but it's G2 not looking
Not like that,
perfect.
but I feel like G2 and Gen G could catch up if they have
having
more
a comeback
competitive
since they're
What do you mean by that?
rocky road of a Swiss. I think Gen G looked better in their semifinal, but G2 are still the ones to fear.
I mean, Gen G on the win streak.
I feel like I
right
would
now,
have
but
taken
G2
Vitality
also
over
maybe more warmed
G2
up
or
right now.
Gen G
has had to
when it
sit
comes to
and
challenging
watch that
Carmine
best of 7,
week in
best
and
of
week
taking
out.
as long as possible too, getting as cooled off as much
As much as
possible
people hate on
here.
Vitality for
Chat,
their
let us know who
not
you
that
think is
great
gonna
Swiss
win.
run, they were also
G2,
a Game 7 overtime away from making the finals.
We'll make our predictions up
And
here.
no
We'll
one
talk
talks
how
about
it's
that
gonna
part
go.
either,
But
so.
I don't know. I feel like G2.
Yeah, for sure.
They're bringing into the series right now.
And like they'd make it competitive. It wouldn't be a blowout every single time.
With the momentum, let's stop with all that
But
nonsense.
there's also the fact that
Because
Carmine
guess what?
already
There's
did
only
that
one
by winning
fact
3
that
times in
everybody
Europe.
here needs
So
to know. The last 3 times these teams have matched up, there's been one winner.
no, it's single elimination.
That winner is Gen G
So.
Mobile 1 Racing, baby.
Just one best of 7 for the
You're
title.
gonna see her by yourself and talk about G2? Absolutely not. Absolutely
Listen,
not.
the more I see you cherry picking your facts, cherry picking your stats, because trust me, I'll give you the better fact. Last time these teams played in the tournament was over in Copenhagen. One team was in the grand finals. The other one, they lost in the quarterfinals. DeMar, you care to answer that question? Which team was in the grand finals?
They what?
Which team lost to Gentlemates in 6 and which team lost to them in 7?
Which team was in the grand finals?
Listen,
DeMar,
you got a better bracket. You got a better bracket.
Comparing quality losses.
All I'm saying is that right now G2 is feeling good.
Wave
Gen G,
punched
listen,
this
these are the
there
two
was
best
good.
teams in North America, without question. The coin's about to flip for G2. Look at it, it's going blue. And DeMar, now you're in trouble because the coin's on Bates' side. And when the coin's on Bates'
Lemon
side,
is
there's
dying in
absolutely
the
nothing you can do.
background.
You got the machine 2.0. The machine
That's the
2.0
first
on
time
G2.
the coin's gone blue on stream.
I know, exactly. Roll
Oh, wait,
our predictions too.
earlier today. Yeah, that's
Let's see our predictions. Let me see what I'm looking like. Where we at, Wave?
G2,
Wave?
Gen G.
Oh, there we go, Lemon. There we go, Lemon. That's good. That's good right there.
Okay,
That's good.
to be fair, I said G2 would be the winner when we started the day, before we saw what happened in the semifinal.
I think in my predictions I had Gen G winning it, but that was before I saw them lose to Snowmen and OG.
Okay.
But this was also before I saw SSG take J2 to Game 7. So. But maybe that's just an SSG G2 thing. Oh, I didn't tweet the they always
I did the exact opposite. I watched G2 ice it up in Game 7 just now. They're coming in hot. I switched my pick to G2 just now. So, and I had Gen G winning at the top.
Great. Everybody's flip-flop.
We got every story here.
They're flopping all over. No one's consistent.
Flopping all over
At
the
least
place.
we're consistent, Bates. Good lord.
I know, in fact, at least you know where I'm going. Everybody in the world knew where I was going. DeMar, why do you think GG's gonna win? Well, give me a 5-word answer.
5-word answer? I mean, I just told. Well, let me see. 5-word answer. Chrome, Chronic, First Killer, Abjact, Dazzering. That's all I need.
Why are you in the Bro thinks he's part of the team.
He just went now, folks. We're ready to get into the gameplay. You've got G2 just barely. We are split and confused.
What did
on the desk.
Junior
We
say?
don't know where
Challenge
it's
game,
gonna
you can't
go.
be too upset. Let off the
There's
gas
only
pedal for a
one
moment.
thing that
GG
matters.
capitalized.
The
Still have
gameplay.
room
We
for
are
improvement.
about to
Very proud of
witness.
our
Get up and get
performance.
loud. For
GG's
the
to
title
good
of
man.
Open
Good stuff.
Qualifier 4 champion, it's G2 versus
All
Gen
right,
G.
now I gotta lock in. That was a long
I'm
series
sure
to sit through in the
glad we
first
had
place.
that discussion on the desk about who was a better loser in Copenhagen. You show me a good loser, and I'll show you a loser. We're here to crown a winner here in this 4th qualifier, the first of the second half of the season. Gen G and G2 will go at it again, and here we go.
A matchup tale.
Imagine how many times that Stacks will say that Chrome isn't the problem if Gen G starts winning.
We have seen these two face off what feels like a million times at this point. And you're right, we're not here to see who has the more quality loss. It's who is going to be the better matchup, who's taking the crown at the end of the day once again.
Gen G's looking nuts right now on offense. That was smooth. Demo opens up space. Chronic gets the extra touch to beat Atomic. There's no way they don't score from that.
4 straight over the Snowmen in the semis.
Oh man, right. We saw Gen G play the Snowmen earlier today. It did feel like a little bit of a slow start for them, I will be honest. And there was one person I had my eye on. I was waiting to see them wake up, and it was First Killer. We didn't see the First Killer that we usually all know and love and are terrified of.
I might educate myself on some South America after
for
this.
an early goal to come out like that, that could be a huge
If you
sign
lose that
for
race,
Gen G
you're
going up
getting
against
conceded.
G2 right now.
Chronic beaten out by Beast Mode there, so apparently Jack will restart the attack. Beast Mode and Jack both after this ball that falls right to First Killer. From the ceiling, Chronic waiting on the weak side. Can't gobble up the rebound just yet, had to wait his way over to the side. Now Beast Mode has this one all the way out to midfield, and he might even be able to stay with it. That demo from Atomic taking out First Killer, critical for G2.
What are we doing?
Right after Chronic, and they didn't really have a backup plan for that.
That's how mind-gaming this esports has gotten, where we're just both flying to the ceiling
that
for
one
no
there.
reason.
This does look like the start of a plan, though, from Gen G. It was an attempted pass, but Atomic intercepted it. Daniel just trying to slow things down. I think Beast Mode wanted to bail him out, but he's got other plans. And right now, G2 just kind of lurking like sharks, waiting for the opportunity to take a shot. Daniel took his, but it was wide.
Daniel can bring that back down central. He
Good
did.
save.
First Killer read it all the way, and he stopped.
I don't really know who I'm
charging
cheering for,
in.
honestly.
Now all the way around the corner, it's Atomic from his own lane. And that's intercepted by Chronic. So G2 slowed down just
Maybe it's time for the G2 revenge
Not
tour.
enough to make a big difference. Daniel has to climb the ladder for this, and waiting for him the whole
Oh, that's a
time
goal.
was Chronic.
First
And
Killer
that's really
misses.
Connected with First Killer screaming across.
That was a rare miss indeed, but there's still a long way to go between these two squads. 2:47 on the clock here. Daniel over into the corner where Atomic was.
I mean,
with low boost
technically,
for him. Most he can do is try and make a challenge.
There's
on
no
Jack.
making
He
us
does.
look good, though. It's not like
Jack's
anyone's
carry
going to
this
say
one
that
down to himself.
G2
I think
SSG was the
Beast
real
Mode
finals.
can do so,
Just
but
with the state of
Daniel
North
was
American
waiting.
Rocket League, everyone
Now,
knows who the best two teams
enough
are.
boost in
But
the
now
paint
at
to
least
try and
everyone
carry
knows who the
through,
third
but
best
First
team is
Killer's
without
done such
a
great
question.
job along the likes of Gen G of stopping G2 in their tracks, and that's what you got to do if you're them, because shots like these are going to come very, very often throughout the series.
Apparently Jack having to deal with a lot of chaos around him, but he still made the stop. G2 threw the house at Gen G and came up empty.
I mean, technically, Gen G has a
Very
former
calm under
SSG
pressure,
coach
and then Jack
now.
just sits there and just lets
G2 has
Beast Mode
two
get the
former
demo.
SSG
Now
players, or
Chronic
G2
will
has
give
two
way to
former
Jack.
SSG
Big
players, and
shot is
Daniel
saved
and
away by
Safi.
Daniel.
Got
Beast
just
Mode's on my
under 2 minutes
fantasy
to go,
team,
and
so I
Gen
might have
G
to just go
managed
with
to hold
Beast.
on
I
to
might
a
have to go with
lead
G2.
here. Every effort has been shut down. Right now, that's all you got to do. It only takes one to win at this point. No boost in the tank for Beast.
That's not a
This one
pass to
gets
your
sent off
teammate.
mid. It's enough time for him to find something. He's trying to get in position. His
Also,
Chronic
I'm
comes
tired of
from
seeing
the ceiling.
Chronic
This
get
one down. It's gonna
disrespected, so
float.
I want to see Chronic
Jack
do
not
well
in
too.
position, so Daniel over to Atomic. This one touches twice.
Chronic doesn't have a
Heads
YouTube
towards
channel
net.
like apparently
First
Jack,
Killer
and he
with the
doesn't
save,
have
but the demo
the
sends him back.
skilled
And here
brand
comes
value of
G2.
First Killer.
Efforts don't stop here, and neither does the pressure.
Everyone keeps saying these are
Big
the
shot from Daniel.
6
That one
best
saved
players
away
in
as
North
well.
America, with
And
maybe the
G2,
exception of putting
again,
LJ at 6
they've
and
had
Chronic
plenty
at
of
7. And it's
opportunities.
like,
Jack
are we
just
watching
got
the
there
same
ahead of
Chronic?
Beast Mode, but still
I like
have
LJ a
nothing to
lot,
show
but
for it, except
Chronic
a
has had some
truckload
moments of
shots
skill. That was a
and
good play by
two-goal
Appjack,
deficit
though.
as well. 6 shots, 6 near misses, and then Gen G does this on the other half.
What happened here? It looked like it was just like.
Okay, that's a solid
awkward
1v2.
on
After I
Daniel
dissed
a
Jack
little
for
bit,
just
and
being a
Atomic just
YouTuber.
Also
So
awkward as well. Positioning just not in the favor of G2, but what is in favor is Gen G right now up 2 goals, nothing answered to. You got a minute left to go. And again, I'm sure this is very reminiscent of what we've seen every time these two have matched up.
Oh, the double to get downfield, but again, just repelled back.
I do
to the
think
center
Gen G
line,
wins,
and
though.
apparently
They've had
Jack will
G2's
dump it
number.
in and force
I don't
Beast
know.
Mode
I don't know.
To work from his back half. First Killer, second touch, dish that off to the side. Atomic and Daniel are both there, so they can't. pass
South
to
America
each
might
other.
be more entertaining
Beast
than
Mode's
this.
nowhere to be found as well. He's
We've seen
finally
this so
there
many
in midfield,
times.
but it's all desperation for G2.
We're going to keep an eye on the
They
score
do
lines in
at
South
least
America,
avoid
and if it's
conceding
not a
goal
furious
there.
sweep, we'll tune
And a
in.
chance now with
Because
Jack
we're
a
expecting
little
this to be a
awkward at the back.
furious sweep.
But again, Chronic recovers, and Gen G tap dance their way out of trouble, and Chronic.
Are we watching the same
put game
Chronic?
1
Like,
away.
Obviously, he has better teammates to help him. No offense to Hawkster in Chicago, but when you're up against Afjac first killer.
Deserves a little bit more credit than they've been given, and it is chronic. He has such playmaker capability in these high-pressure situations that have been going down for this team this weekend. He's definitely one to keep an eye on. As far as Gen G
it's gonna be a
concerned,
sweep. Okay.
8 seconds left here on the clock. It is probably too little, too late at this point for G2.
Fury and Crew both have Val teams, but they're also South American.
High, knowing that it wasn't a bad matchup. It just was a very
you've got
game from
in Valorant, you've got Loud, Furia, MIBR, Crew,
G2
Leviathan.
has not been able to exercise as of late. Again, the last 3 matchups have gone to Gen G.
We don't have Loud, MIBR, or Leviathan.
Those have been best of 5s. Still, the fact remains,
and then
it's gone to
NAORs,
Gen
it's
G,
EG,
as does game 1 here.
G2, Sentinels, 100 Thieves, C9.
7-6, and without Daniel's 5, you're looking at 7-1.
Who am I missing?
They don't get any offensive contribution out of
EG,
Beast Mode.
C9, Sentinels, 100 Thieves.
But just could not break free. We look back at the Gen
only
G
4.
Global 1 high-performance replay as they pick up a 3-0 shutout. It was a little awkward a couple of times.
NRG.
But all that matters
I know I didn't
is
list
Gen
NRG
G
earlier.
off on the right foot to kick off this
Send
grand
100
final.
Thieves, EG,
I think what makes this matchup so interesting again is just the fact of
I gotta
how
stop doing
many
this
times
because I
these
keep
two
forgetting
have
teams
faced
every
off in
time
a
I do
grand
it.
final. It almost is like, what do you
Thank
change?
you.
What do you do
I needed
differently,
to visualize.
G2,
G2, C9, Sen, 100 T, EG, NRG. So basically the old big 3 and then Sen, 100 T, EG. That's easy to remember.
And they didn't, I don't want to say didn't look their best today, but G2 definitely wasn't playing at their peak. So for Gen G to be coming in like that, you know that you're able to walk in with your head held a little bit higher.
Is X-Set still a
you
thing?
normally see them.
Maybe not in Valorant, but like in general. I'm wondering if there's still a thing.
Win. Yes, you're gonna have to win some where you're not at your best. Both teams
Chronic's gonna fall.
So they're sitting here now in the grand final.
Yeah, I did see that.
Is gonna walk away with 20 points, and they'll be in the driver's seat trying to qualify to go to Landon 3.0. It's Atomic to kick things off for G2, feeding Daniel.
What is happening? Okay, there we go.
If he touched that or not, I don't think he did, and it falls to Beast Mode to score it on the doorstep.
There you have it.
Actually, we haven't seen a close best of 5 between these two teams, so maybe I'm looking for
there
that.
was no touch on that one. I think it was
That just means
a
it'd appear
really
longer.
solid cleanup there from Beast Mode and G2.
Low-key might get a haircut, but I also want to watch Sam.
You want to see if you're a G2 fan, or at least if you're Bates.
I could get a haircut after work tomorrow, probably.
That's going to be unbearable if we allow them both on the desk at the end of this. But for now, the real stars of the show doing battle here on Forbidden Temple.
I'll just do it tomorrow.
Chronic going to send one out. He's got Jack in support, but he's intercepted by Daniel. And he opts to drop one off to Atomic. Beast Mode can't get the
Afjac got a reset there, I think.
Got one extra touch coming out of that corner. And then he
Okay,
can
we're just
send this
putting it
downfield.
down.
And
no one has any boost. That's why.
G2 was
No one has any
in front
boost
of the
still.
net.
Genji
Now
is
this
out of
drops down
boost.
in front, and Daniel
Chronic got a full.
from Beast Mode.
First killer finally got a full after getting a few pads.
The net over one.
No way, dude.
Quite make an angle on
Almost.
It. First killer anticipated it and sent him off.
That's a crucial touch. I didn't realize.
Transition
Okay,
here from Gen G. We're gonna see who's gonna be
been a lot
behind.
worse.
It's gonna be Jack to finish the follow up there. Pass over to Chronic, shot
That's tough.
just wide, and Daniel will carry this around the corner.
G2 on the fence needs to beat Loud next week and
there
needs
for
C9 to
G2. They
lose.
do. They take a wide shot. It's actually past first.
Who is going to Shanghai?
AD.
Like, who's
Just
actually
like
good right now?
I mean, look at there are 5 cars all bunched up there. The only one who's not in that big cluster is Beast Mode because he's stuck at the back. Well, you've got all 3 members of Gen G there. You can't really be surprised that that one ends up behind them in their net. A huge defensive breakdown out of Gen G, and it gives G2 a 2-goal lead.
Wait, maybe I do
Now
want
Chronic
Sentinels to pick up
looking
Snowmen
cut
because
into
the
that
amount of
lead.
smack
Got
talk
the flip
between G2
reset.
and
This is
Sentinels and
dropped
Valor
back
would be great
towards
for Rocket
Jack,
League.
but cleared out by
It'd be
Daniel.
great to see that bleed in the Rocket League.
Comes Atomic. Again, it's low boost.
Unknown,
for this
we
one,
go-
but still,
we top
even
3
on
go.
Low boost, G2, what they are
Need
really
to get to
good
playoffs
at
and
is
win
still
3
being
out of
able
6.
to start those transitions over the mid.
Who's
And
looking
do
the
so
best?
Again, Daniel collecting that corner.
Give me
there,
like the
trying
3
to
teams you think
keep
are going to make it, and
forward,
then the one
not
that's just
quite
barely
able
going to
do
miss.
so as best as he would have liked. Instead, it's first over
Maybe
Jack.
2
No
that you think are barely going to miss
connection
if
made
they're
on this
close.
ball, and it falls to the hands of Daniel.
Jack just up a little too slow for a shot that was just shot out of a rocket
Oh,
launcher
Beast
to a
Mode.
So
Nolly
now,
vibes.
I center. Daniel for a 3-goal lead denied by first killer. Follow up.
Whoa.
Ricochets around.
Oh, what is going on the goal line right now?
After picking up the demo on Jack, I mean, Jack was in the right spot, and Beast Mode picking up the demolition didn't actually clear the way.
Jeez.
Unlucky for G2, but the lead still remains 2.
How
Gen G
that
trying
wasn't
to
a
get
goal
one
is
back here.
beyond
That's
me.
denied by Atomic and friends and cleared out as well. And once again, you see 2 people beaten by just 1 as Atomic centers, but a clear.
First killer if he gets there
outlet
first.
The first killer denied by Beast Mode. Nothing in front.
Let's see, can G2 keep this one going? Their offense has picked up massively. Defense looks
back. Okay.
incredible. But same can be said for Gen G now.
Leviathan,
Here
neither
comes
C9 or
first killer,
G2.
trying to get
Most
challenged
likely.
by
Okay.
Beast Mode. This one becomes a dead ball and instead pans forward, upfield. No boost in the tank means Atomic
Energy's
can get
always
over
looking
to
washed.
Daniel from the mid.
That's all I know about
back
Valorant.
to him, back and forth to try and bob and weave through the
Energy
defense
picked up
towards
the
this
entire
net.
optic core
They're
after their
inching
best
their way
season and then
there, but it's
immediately looked
apparently
washed.
Jack to send him back momentarily because none other than Chronic, that is the player, again, to keep your eyes on. He has been everywhere all at once.
I do
for
miss
squad,
the
just
Optic versus
keeping
Loud
everybody at
rivalry.
bay for the most part.
That entire storyline was nuts.
Everywhere, all at once. Chronic trying to set up first killer. Blocked by Atomic. And it's G2 playing the role that Gen G played in game 1. Frustrating the opposition, stifling them at midfield. And now taking a bunch of control here. Atomic doesn't have any boost in the
Jack
tank,
pre-jumping
but he's
that.
still able to get around apparently Jack. Daniel runs forward, and
Oh,
now first
jeez,
killer
that's
can
kinda
run up
filthy.
and- oh, he got spun out there. Otherwise, he might have run onto that ball and had a pretty
They
wide
fake?
open shot. So now Atomic will bring it across. I'll tell you what, it's been very awkward for both these squads.
That's
Apparently
on.
Jack
That's a
runs
shot and a
one
half
ramp
right there.
in the final minute.
I don't know how
Gen
you
G's on
see
the
that.
board.
There you have it. It was an attempt to get this one out.
There's
but
a
first killer's touch
millisecond of
was a
free
perfect
space
center
there.
over to Jack, and the placement
Okay, maybe
and
it was a little bit more free
speed
space than I thought,
on
but
this
still.
one was just too much for G2 to catch up with.
So they get one back. 54 seconds could be an eternity here. First killer. All by his lonesome. Send it all the way across.
If Gen G get this
Chronic
game
is
back,
there,
where the
intercepted
finals
by
is
Beast
over.
Mode, but that's why Jack is back. Chronic waiting across the field. Jack will take the shot himself, and Daniel will not relinquish any kind of a rebound. Rejects that effort out of the corner as well. This kicks back in front. Daniel and Beast Mode both jump, but Atomic will stabilize things here in the final 30.
I'm surprised no
Apparently
one's
Jack,
there
though,
for
full
this.
tank of boost. Daniel's got to be real careful, and he is. Didn't have a lot in the tank, but he had enough to get
Good
that
move
out
by
of harm's
Daniel.
way.
That was a lot of good
This is
50s
a
forced.
massive clear for G2 to waste time that right now Gen G desperately want. Big bump there, crazy.
That's the
Demo to
game.
open up a path, but this
Wait,
ball
that's
gets sent
off.
all
No,
the
it's
way
not.
back, floats into an
All right, we got a
open
series
net,
at least.
And G2 gets security in game number 2.
50 goes through. Daniel's right there. It went perfectly.
Crew
for
get one
G2.
back.
And Daniel puts
Dude,
game
MF
2
released
away.
Crew? Really?
Similar to how Gen G closed it out in the closing seconds of game 1. So back
Gamer
and
Legion
forth,
getting
these
swept
two
out of this
juggernauts
tournament
of
beyond
North
me. I don't know how
America
this
go.
happened.
It seems, again, impossible to imagine a world where they both aren't playing in London. The upper hand belongs to you, the fans, who are getting treated to another classic
I
grand
do
final.
low-key want to see what the
This
rankings
is
look
just,
like.
I mean, how many times can you match up and get the same result, though? That's what I want to know. Like, when do things start to swap around and we get something funny between these two?
Okay,
like a
solidified ourselves.
I don't know about any
That's
funny business between these two squads. They're so evenly matched.
Solidified
I mean,
ourselves
They go the
in the
distance
5th
nearly every
spot.
time they play.
8 points
I mean,
behind Luminosity,
listen, G2 against
5 points
everybody
behind
else
OG.
is 5-0 on Champions Field. But the couple of times they've lost in Game 5 or 7
We would've made it to
so
that
far
final, that
this
would've been
season,
massive for the
it has
point gap.
been
We just gotta
to this
qualify for
Gen
London.
G squad. So somebody has finally found a way to have their number. But will that continue? Saw that demo there by Beast Mode that looked like it was going to open the door for G2 to
And I'm
firmly
sure
walk away with
somebody
that
has
game.
pulled up
Then
the
shortly after, apparently Jack at least made it a game
matchups we have
until
for
that
the
game winner, or
expected
rather that
matches.
one that salted it away from Daniel in the waning seconds. So one apiece. 3 goals has been the magic number. 3-0 for Gen G in game 1. 3-1 the scoreline in game 2 for G2. that's quite the response. What do we have now as we go to game 3 on DFH Stadium? Gen G and G2 in a best of 5 now.
Back into kickoff we go between these two squads. We've seen it a million times, and like I said, does something new happen here, or is it the same as it's always been? Well,
SSG undisputed number
G2,
3. Let's read this. Let's see what
the
they
same
say.
as it's always
Seeing how
been,
SSG
has been
performed this
nothing but
qualifier, they're in my
wins these
opinion
past
the
few
undisputed
days
number
here, and they're
3.
trying to keep it that
Just like the
way.
pros.
Beast mode carries this
They're
one
saying
around
they
the
are.
corner.
Will they get the
Spots
3rd
Daniel,
seed?
takes his time.
No, they won't
Can't
get the 3rd
past
seed.
First killer though.
Daniel will
No
circle
team
around on this
could
one.
get
He's
messed more up
got
by the format
Beast
than
Mode
SSG
coming
did.
across.
Yes.
But the demo from
Alright,
First
so it's
Killer
basically
opens
everything we
things
already
up
know.
for apparently Jack to lead the counter for Gen G. How long will that counterattack last? About this long. Beast mode shot. Daniel trying to run interference as well, but instead has to run underneath and settle for a boost steal. Chronic did make the stop.
Someone please
Now
have
Beast
these
mode
matches
ahead
up.
to Daniel. He's got options. Opts for himself. He's got Atomic waiting out in front, and apparently Jack feeds that to First Killer, and Gen G strike first in the blink of an eye.
Oh man, that happened probably faster than anybody would have anticipated as far as G2 was concerned, and on
Uncle
target
Bill is the
it goes, an uncontested one
So
goal
it's probably
lead for Gen G. Every time we've seen somebody take that first goal, they have won that game in the series.
The
so
top 11
this could
seeds
be,
all qualified?
This could be interesting. Does
12
Gen
was the
G
first
hold
seed to
on to it
miss.
for the rest of the game, or does G2 actually manage to come back and break the curse?
How appropriate that we started using a coin to start predicting contests, because
Who
between
knows
these
how
two
these teams are
squads, it
gonna be
really
seeded
does
in the
feel
first
like
round,
a
man.
coin flip.
Who knows?
Beast mode trying to run through. He got a piece of 2, but nobody else was running forward. That comes off a challenge from Daniel, and it at least required First Killer's attention for a moment. Now Beast mode, decent challenge in the corner. Daniel to center, Atomic coming
No
along,
way.
and apparently Jack rolling one that he couldn't get enough pace on. Beast mode barely making the save.
That was just in the last moments of time to be able to save that one, but the pressure
no one's
doesn't
up for
stop
that,
here
right?
from Gen G. Jack is already up, trying to keep this one going. Instead, Atomic's got other plans. Back pass over to Chronic. He's going to carry this one over that midfield. Huge play here. It's a spot over to First over to Chronic.
Tragic.
Not a second touch off of that one to keep that
First
one
Killer's
going
not
in
turning?
and through.
he's
Instead,
not even
it's
close.
a transitional attack from G2 Stride, but First Killer to stop it in its tracks.
That was a clever passing play, similar to what they did to Snowmen.
One
but
demo, Chronic on a
G2
Daniel
no
goal.
Snowmen. First Killer, though, will score here. Everybody got demolished on the side of G2. You see the one beat in the backfield. Atomic just plays that one laterally. He didn't have a solid play on it at all. The demo behind the play again. It's First Killer adding to his tally, make it 3 goals in the series and a 2-goal lead here in Game 3.
He is 2 for 2. That is exactly what you want. If you are Gen G, you want a First Killer on 100% right now. Because that is a terrifying person to go up against. Abstract, Lobos in the tank, but still manages to carry this one down to the ground. First Killer up next. Spots Beast mode, tries to bounce it up. Follow up from Chronic, doesn't follow through quite
Interesting
yet,
50 approach.
But pressure gonna be
Double commit
sustained
is
for
bad
now as
there.
Abjact's up in the air, carries this one over. Low boost for Atomic means this one could float down in the hands of a Gen G player, and it does exactly
They're lucky
that,
they had another
but
guy
no
for follow-up
dunk
there.
to be found.
G2 have looked just a little bit slower than usual here defensively in this 3rd game, as Gen G have kind of whipped the ball around the field. Chronic will serve one up for First Killer. He's got apparently Jack in the midfield. He's also got Beast mode to contend with. Up very early for that ball. Daniel running forward as well. That falls right to Chronic. And as Gen G often does, they spread out and can work downfield very quickly. They got G2 pinned for just a moment, but that's rejected back out. And Gen G have to start from square one again, but they do have the 2-goal lead. They don't really have to force the issue.
Someone
But
get up
every
for it.
second they
Oh,
spend
First
on
Killer
offense
double
here
attempt. Dang it.
is the second they're not spending defending this 2-goal lead. Atomic trying to run interference. There's nobody to hit. They're already up in the air.
Speaking of in
Emote's
the air,
just
it was
missing.
Beast mode. A little awkward on this one. Leaves it down for Atomic to carry it through, but it's low boost for everyone on the end of G2 Stride right now, which means it's keep away time for Gen G Mobile 1. Daniel tries to send this one up. not on target, everything just seemingly wide at all times. This could be
Okay,
an opportunity,
double
but it's
commit.
too slow, and Gen.G gets back in time.
Ooh.
Another shot from Daniel. Atomic not in position. He tried to turn around fast enough, but instead, it's Gen.G that turn around just faster. And it's back and forth. Somebody trying to take the reins off this ball, and it's been G2
That's off.
trying
If that had been on, that's a
numerous
goal.
times, but everything has just been off.
They've had plenty of chances. That
Team
one out
barely
of reach of
missed
beast
free jump
mode.
attempt.
Final 30 seconds. Look, G2 has had all the pressure, but they have not found the net. They haven't found the target much at all here in this closing minute. This goes all the way across, back into G2 territory only for a moment. They're not out of this game, just the way they've had this pressure here in the final minute. But they've got to score here with a chance at a kick.
Oh, that's an opportunity. No way they steal this game, right?
Beast mode with
No
6
way.
to go.
You said they had to score here, and that's exactly what they did. Daniel, just enough to open up an opportunity for Beast Mode to
They
score.
score
They do
this.
so
If they
6
steal this
seconds.
game.
You need something off of the kickoff. They're capable of doing it. They send one
Double
off.
fake.
Atomic puts it up into the sky. Beast Mode back over to Daniel. Enough boost to carry
And
this
the
one
demo-
through. But a demo
the
could
Atomic
land this
demo
into
is
the hands
bad.
of
Oh.
First Killer. It does.
Whoa,
Beast
what a
Mode
catch.
carries. He spots Daniel. He's low on boost too. Gen.G want to kill it, but the pinch keeps the ball in play.
That's gonna be not. That's fine.
That will finally kill it. That was a
They
tough
actually
job
had a
by
legit
Beast Mode
chance
to
there at
keep
the
that
end.
ball in the air. There was one demo on the play right after the kickoff, and then you saw the attacker sweep around and try to take out Beast Mode as well. He had to pump the brakes, then pre-flip forward just to try and get under that ball. But there's nobody on the weak side. So G2's comeback effort falls just a skosh short.
Yeah.
And Gen.G take one back.
Crew were lucky to get a game.
They're up 2-1 in this best of 7.
Oh, man. I think back to the Bates and Daz debate that was going on, and they were like, yeah, but like Gen.G has like been taking G2 down every time that they faced off recently.
It's
and then
weird.
The debate was, well, G2 made the grand final and land. At the end of the day, you can be incredible against everybody. You can
I think
be
Gen.G might just be the
Superman,
better team.
but somebody has to be your kryptonite. There's got to be that one team that just makes things feel almost impossible, and that's what Gen.G is.
I don't know.
to
I wanted
G2.
the distance for the coaching change, but
Regardless of the result here in this grand final,
I mean, it's not hurting
one
them.
thing is very obvious. These are unquestionably the 2 best teams in North America. Whether it's 1
Yeah,
and
that's
2 or 1A, 1B, however you want to rank them, it's these 2 right here, and then everybody else is down here.
Whoa.
So now
Whoa.
we go
Did we
to
see
a
the
fifth
last
game.
series? We
See
know
if
who
this
3
turns
is.
into a 2-2 series. Both teams, of course, still have their timeout in their pocket. We go on now to Utopia, who will blink first in this particular game.
It's kind of interesting, you know, not seeing
Finally
G2
properly
take
ranked
the
Space
timeout
Station
yet.
now.
We saw them
Golly.
utilize their timeouts in their last series against SSG quite often. I'm curious if they would rather just wait until match point, or if they would just
Wait,
play
who's the 12th
through
seed
and see
in North
how it
America
goes,
right now?
'Cause really, what do you talk about at a time like this that hasn't already been said before? I'm sure G2, of all teams, came into this with a massive game plan, very much anticipating meeting up with Gen.G here once again. But I don't know,
I'll look it
flip
up on my
side of
phone.
things is Gen.G probably just planned a little bit harder. It was ready.
Oh, first killer up towards the crossbar. Apparently Jack tried to bring that one out of the corner, nothing doing. And Beast Mode.
What is going
Beast Mode
on?
and Atomic are both forward. It's Beast Mode that takes charge. And first killer wise to the play, but he apparently
watch
Jack
that's so
him in the
bad that I'm
backboard.
just gonna
So that's a lot of wasted
load it on
boost.
mobile data.
Gen.G
That
doesn't have
sucks.
much
Oh,
left,
Beast Mode.
And Beast Mode picks him apart.
That's a huge leading goal to find here in this game 4 right now. Drop down over to Atomic, but for Beast Mode to find the angle off it and just barely get around first killer, that is a huge
North
huge
America
step in the right
12
direction
is
for G2.
NRG. North America 13 is
So
Dignitas.
G2 does strike first after,
Cheesy Pete's.
I want to say, a rare miscue defensively out of Gen.G, but they've been surprisingly common in this grand final. Seen them bunched up quite a bit. Seen some double commits, a little bit of hero ball. Uncharacteristic of this squad for sure. Now Daniel. Atomic will follow the play. It falls back to Beast Mode. He's going to dance around Chronic. First killer's up there too. But it's apparently
Had a
Jack
series,
has to
though.
guide that out to the corner. Not out of harm's way, though.
So essentially, in the open qualifier, we'll have NRG facing us in our bracket most likely. Or its best, most recent result, and it's NRG versus Cloud9. So yep, it'll be NRG. Face NRG in the closed qualifiers again. Always facing NRG.
Consistent, and that's what you got to do.
Like literally. Oh my gosh, what are we doing?
Bumps from Daniel still isn't enough to get Gen G off of their backs. They are still.
And then if someone misses the event, we're looking at a data toss or deleted
and a
XD.
decent clear there to give them a little bit of
If two
breathing room,
people
but
miss
Chronic
the event,
already
it's
sitting back,
deleted
waiting,
XD.
ready
One
to go.
misses,
But it's
it's data
Chronic that's
toss.
got the bail and the save. This one pinches on the ground, but first killer to clear.
Oh, Beast Mode chasing first killer, but he's able to recover after avoiding disaster.
Oh, Daniel almost had that. I
Trying
wanted
to
to
center
see
for
it.
Beast. That doesn't happen, but look at where G2 are. They're all bunched up in the corner, and Gen G's going to come away with possession at least briefly. Again, you're seeing just a lot
Beast
of
Mode's up first.
awkward comms here.
Oh.
Out of
Oh.
Gen G and G2.
Oh, Beast Mode.
This time, apparently,
surprised he
Jack
doesn't wrap
will
that.
clear at least out of danger for the moment. Now, this is not the
That's a goal.
level we expect out of these two teams. First killer just has
This
a
could wrap
center
up our
right in
series
his
quickly
lap,
if we're not careful.
and it's a tie game.
Man, you talk about, this isn't quite the level that we are used to seeing these two teams at. This is at least a reminiscent play of the Gen G we know and love and we've seen all season. A great little passing play between those two right there. Tied game at just over 2 minutes on it. Is there about to be a lead off this one?
No. Oh, no, Crew's already lost. Okay.
Attempted pass.
Furious in the finals.
Over Atomic. Appjack's gonna intercept this one, but Beast Mode's got other
Yeah,
plans.
it's pretty
Tries to get the beat out
resistant.
off the ceiling and carries this one down, but Chronic again, huge little half clears for Gen G to just really hold G2 back enough not to score.
We said earlier, we're looking for a winner, and somebody's going to win this tournament, but somebody's going to survive this game more than they're going to win Game 4. This is kind of ugly between these two squads, and still tied one apiece with less than 90 seconds. First killer dumps that back out to the corner, and apparently Jack has it downfield as far as Daniel, who will play around him. And now Daniel leaves that for Atomic. Bank out towards Daniel. They crisscross in front. It's Beast Mode.
Beast Mode went for that, dude. That would have been insane.
And first killer's down there just in case Atomic wasn't
pass? Really? We're going for the
Chronic
pass
waiting
there?
for a mistake. There might have been one. It dropped it right down to him, but finally Atomic right back down the middle, and that forces Gen G's attention defensively.
Every
What are we
time
doing?
G2 seemingly get this big clear, they're not able to transition off of it as fast as I think they would hope to. Instead, it's Gen G just catching them up in the air and turning this into their possession very, very quickly. 41 seconds left to go. This ball's going to clear out back into the Gen G side here.
Oh, we're stealing
That's a
each other's
huge
boosts.
boost collect from first killer. It means he's going to be able to carry this one all the way across. You see Daniel lurking. Jack's just going to push him out of the way for that one.
Oh, gosh.
Could be massive if Beast Mode could have gotten there back in time. Instead, we stay tied for now with a Gen G clear up field.
Irish trying to get on top of that ball, too, to drop it down to Daniel. Instead, Daniel very wisely racing back quickly. Beast Mode.
Oh, I wanted
touch.
the
No, he's gonna leave
reset
it for
there.
Atomic, and Chronic is there to make the stop.
The mind
Overtime
games.
is looming here in Game 4 unless somebody can break away in the closing seconds. Chronic
The
for
delayed
win.
flip.
Bounces away, courtesy of Daniel. Gen G will give it one more look, but we go to sudden death.
If Gen G wins this, I am scared for
Massive
G2.
Savior save from
If
Daniel
G2 wins this, I
in
feel like
those
it's a game
last
7.
Seconds there, and a huge shot off the kickoff from G2. Daniel's not going to stop this one. He gets past one, not past Chronic, and there it is. The pass
What's
over
first
to
killer
Appjack.
doing up here?
The attempted path clear from first killer.
Bro
The
thinks
demo
he's
coming through.
freaking
Chronic
Reddles
to turn
or
around,
something.
Try and slow things down, and Gen G on their way to take their first threatening shots of this OT.
So it's the boost. First killer is insane. What is he doing?
From doing whatever he wants to do. He was able to just run free through the G2 half for a good 5 or 6 seconds there, and he almost wreaked a lot of havoc. Here's Atomic. As G2
Atomic
breaks
not
out.
passing that? Are we for real?
First killer there to dump that back for apparently Jack. You won't have the corner boost though as Atomic
Oh,
stole it
Chronic
away.
should have let
And now
that for
Beast
first
Mode
killer.
looking to center after the turnover from Chronic.
My opinion. Should
Nothing
have been a bang long.
doing at all. Chronic to apparently Jack. Intercepted and back and forth
There's
they go at the
bold
center line.
racing with that
Waiting
ball.
for someone to blink in overtime of Game 4.
That's why he's the
Let's
GOAT.
see first killer back. What I'm noticing is a lot of Gen G does keep one person back, just kind of messing with that third man, but same could be said for G2. Trying to go and clear a path there. There's Daniel upfield already trying to go, but he retreats. And Atomic's ball touch stays corner. This one over to Jack. Gen G taking their time, reset to get over one. Chronic's up next, off the backboard. First killer, he's coming through, off the ceiling and down, and Beast Mode clears this one.
Why are they letting this go
too.
so much?
Of course, the Beast Mode Daniel connection for so long has been so great. Zo2 have Jack
oh
and
my gosh.
First killer that nearly stole the show again. Looking for his 5th goal of the series to lead all scorers, but instead, it's back on defense now, having to duck inside the net to avoid contact. Beast Mode bringing it across, Atomic shot.
It's going to be a pass off the backboard for a shot. It's going to be too late. Daniel got demoed there. Opportunity? Ooh, I really thought Atomic was going to be up. I realized he had nothing.
This one bounces up. Daniel to collect. Can he get a double or at least
Beast
a
Mode's
second
up for
touch
this?
to
It's a
set
game?
up any of his teammates there? It's actually Jack's touch that leaves it in Beast Mode's possession for now. And Chronic's going to try and take it away. Daniel, though, other plans. He just continues to keep this in the hands of G2 for as long as he possibly can. First killer can't even bail them out and get them out of their own half right now.
Atomic did a great job slowing down first killer. They might be rewarded.
Oh gosh, dude, what? I'm sorry, we gotta be hitting those, man.
Getting to the wall and trying to create out of the zone.
That should have been G2's. That's the series. That just ends it. No way.
Are one win away from slaying G2 again.
No way.
Stop first killer. If there is a
That was
player
atrocious.
to come in clutch when it needs to happen, it is 9 times out of 10 him. You know what?
Like in the bag, in the bin.
I'm not surprised.
Gen G might be the best team in North America. Except they also might not be because they just randomly drop Swiss series. I wonder how people rank them.
Timeout as Gen G are in fact on triple match point. Chance to close
because
things
like
out
G2 has
in
only
5
lost to Gen
on the
G.
other
That's
side
their
of
only
this
loss
TO.
all
You know,
season.
one thing we talked about
Gen
with
G has
Chrome
lost to M80 in the
after
first few
Gen G's
events.
semifinal win was about the team's emotional maturity.
Snowmen this event and OG
not
this event.
kind of fold under pressure, and they can take some criticism.
Both of them lost to the
and
same
react to
team
it, and
in
they respond
Copenhagen,
very
despite
well.
the fact that G2
That's
lost in the
something
finals,
that
getting a few more
G2
quality
has
wins
had
along the
as one
way.
of their strengths
And
as
Gen
well.
G
Sathu
lost
also very
in
much
the
a
quarters.
no-nonsense kind of coach, and it's great to see two coaches who have very similar styles
Gen G
get
beat it,
their
like,
teams into the finals, because so often
I don't
we
know.
talk about teams'
I don't know.
mentalities, Herc, and you know, when somebody says the wrong thing, all of a sudden maybe you get the sense that a
See
team
the
might
debate,
fold.
but like Gen G
These
is
two
always
teams have
beating
the mental
G2.
fortitude to avoid that. Now G2 has to put it together to come back from down 3-1.
I absolutely agree. I think these are two of the most mentally tough teams out there, which is what makes them work so well. I don't think I can't really name many other teams where you can say that all 3 players are on the same level as far as mentality goes, which could make situations like this so interesting.
I'm a little bummed
right?
we don't have
Because
fans in the
G2,
stands for
being
this
down,
map.
having to come up to just to match them and tie Gen G right now. That's a really big challenge, but same can be said for Gen G. You're sitting on match point. You know you have the upper hand in this one. The question is, who's the first to break?
Just a quick aside on the Sathu front, how much I rate him as a coach. You know, the high school team that I run back here kind of had a mental block that they couldn't get over last year. So I invited Sathu in to kind of have a chat with them and talk things through. They ended up winning their semifinal match against an opponent that had kind of had their number, had our number. And I credit Sathu with a lot of help there, getting over that hump. Now he's got to do it with his team with much higher stakes here. Again, 4 points don't seem like a whole lot, but nothing is certain. And of course, the payday at the end of all of this as well. Clinching opportunity for Gen G.
It's going to be Gen G here, isn't it?
Again is underway at the Aquadome.
I feel like it's...
There you have it. Game 5 officially has begun. This one all the way back. Thankfully, Beast
I mean, maybe the timeout buff helps them
deep in that
in this
third.
game.
They're able to get the pass over to Atomic off the
Okay, maybe it really does. Maybe it does make a massive difference.
And there you have it. G2 Stride begin their comeback.
Atomic has made a career out of being one of the best setup men in the world. 4 assists. That 4th one gives Beast Mode his 4th goal and a 1-0 lead in a must-win game for G2.
First killer. Trying to do what we've seen so many times before, send that ball to the backboard, but for now, G2 are anticipating it a little bit more than they were before. 30 seconds into this one, again, G2's got their starting lead off of it, looking to turn it into 2, but apparently Jack's got a save and wants to put a stop to that immediately.
Of course, sometimes you're just throwing the ball at the net, hoping something good happens. Maybe Gen G will kind of give you a juicy rebound.
What is going on? What is going
on the side, but Beast Mode couldn't get it cleanly, so it comes right back into G2 territory. So Daniel's got to be careful with apparently Jack shading him. And it's first killer.
That's open.
Who has his
That's
pocket
off,
picked by
thankfully,
Beast Mode, but it's well wide.
Thankfully for
and
Gen G.
No threat to Gen G this time.
There were a couple of really good beats there from G2. They just weren't quite able to close out the ending of that
Gen
play,
G's got problems to fix.
It's a little bit
Swiss.
concerning. I mean,
G2's
especially
got
when you're
problems
down
to
on match
fix.
point, but it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
Gen G, but not this game.
Down by 1 or if you're down by 2, if Beast Mode is the one solo playing for your team, you know you are in good hands.
Just on a different level.
I don't know.
When he's on, make it 5 goals now and an assist for Beast Mode in this grand final.
Game 5's probably just over.
Now first killer going to work, trying to get Gen G back on the board. It's very ambitious at that point. They're gonna need to do it as a team. Solo efforts will not beat G2 if they're playing like this. Beast Mode, second touch, actually threw Atomic for a loop. First killer,
How on
touch
earth are we
well
not
off
wrapping
the mark.
that on target?
But Gen G remains on the attack. Chronic trying to find a window for Appjack to shoot through. And instead it goes across out towards midfield, and Beast Mode has to let that one drop. They had to play the slow game there because Gen G had the upper hand and maintains it. For first kill at a center now and cleared away again.
Yep, great attempt to get the clear out from Daniel.
That's
Unfortunately for him, Gen G continue to just stop things in the mid. But this time, G2 looking a little bit more successful on that transition there, although it does get sent back.
Interesting
this
pass.
One down over to Appjack. Flick over 1, not
Chronic's
past Daniel,
backwards.
though. Maybe Chronic or First Killer could be a little bit more successful on that one, but nothing seems to be enough to stop Daniel from getting in your own
Whoa,
half.
first killer touch. Oh!
That's a great play set up there.
That would have been
First
great.
Killer and Chronic, because they knew G2 was at least going to have one back. It still doesn't matter. Scoreline still reads 0 for Gen G trying to close out the series. Beast
Demo
Mode
onto
to try and
Appjack.
center this ball, going after First Killer. Couldn't get him on his way out of the net. And Gen G can break out looking for their first goal of Game 5. Chronic with a good win, gives way to apparently Jack, and Atomic just waves his finger, says no thank you, and back comes G2.
Wow, right into beast
This
mode.
ball heads over back into that Gen G half. G2, you just pretty
the
much are
first
doing
killer.
everything in your power to hold on to this lead. You don't even want to let them into your side. You can clear this out to no man's land as long as you can.
Oh, I really thought there was going to be another
this
following
ball
up with a
back into
fake.
that orange half. You're pretty
Wow,
much
you're going to just
safe,
let that
but
happen. You're just going to let that happen.
There's a safer way to win. It's just to continue to score on Gen G time and time
Chronic.
again. It was Daniel off the backboard and great finish there from Atomic.
Jeez, you got to get up for that, man.
Yeah, occasionally he scores too. His first goal of the series, Atomic, might have put things out of reach already for Gen G. They just have not been very threatening at all. They do not have a shot on target. That will register.
That's a
as
shot
one,
on
and
target.
Beast Mode saves it away. So finally, Gen G have something in that column. They don't have any saves, and of course, they certainly don't have any goals or assists. They like to change that as this ball ricochets around. Now Chronic is up.
Oh,
Jack down in
missed the
front.
double reset.
Nobody to pass it to him. And Atomic can maybe
First
get
go
one
losing that
more to
boost,
get
that's
away
probably
from
a
apparently
goal if
Jack.
they can actually get it.
Daniel
Nope,
lobs
Chronic's
it
up.
out, and Gen G find themselves right back on their own half.
There you are, having to defend it time and time again. It's not
Oh
gonna
my
stop.
gosh,
Oh,
Atomic.
beast mode. That was so
What?
nice the way he
Okay,
spun
Atomic,
him around
filthy
the defense,
move.
but to leave that
Oh
with
my
just the
gosh, what a
tiniest
pass.
touch to place that volley fall into the hands
That was
of
great.
Beast Mode and go up 4-0.
Just like, which way did he go? He went that way. 103, G2 in the driver's seat in a game that, again, that they had to win to prolong.
That was
this
Atomic
grand
proving he
final.
deserves to be on a
First Killer
team
can
of
just
super
watch
teams as
as
well.
Daniel clears that effort away and it almost went
Beast
through
Mode
Chronic
Daniel, yeah, we know those
into the
names.
net.
Atomic's still up there
Now
too.
Chronic
That's what that
and
was.
First Killer both up. It's a lot of my turn offense now, and it has turned into garbage time in game 5. G2 can take a big sigh of relief here and kind of play out this last minute as little more than a formality. Beast Mode shot requires First Killer to make a stop, and G2, the only question now is not if they'll win, but by how many.
Okay,
At least
Atomic
5
another one.
as Atomic adds another.
Oh my goodness, not once but twice have I seen 2 shots come out of G2 from a fairly nasty angle, but this one from Atomic over Jack is just...
I don't think that
it's great.
Gen.G
It's
cares about this
clean,
game
it's
anymore.
simple, it's mechanical.
I'm curious if they call timeout here or wait
5-on-1,
another game.
28 seconds left. This game is, I feel...
Knowing Chrome, he might
overthink
overthink it.
Like
Or maybe not
Gen.G,
overthink it,
but
but have a
as good as
strategy for
gone,
doing
and you're
something
pretty
other than the
much headed
usual.
into game number 6 at this point.
No way, guys. Don't let him score again.
They've kind of accepted their fate, and we're just trying to get any kind of forward momentum to just feel like, okay, wait a minute, you know, this isn't a boogeyman at all. G2 certainly feeling like they've made some progress. A team that has had their number has just been shut out at
Who's the
hands
fourth
of
best
G2
team in North
Stride.
America?
1 down, 2 more to go.
Is it Snowmen or is it OG?
From what I'm seeing, we're gonna be getting our first Gen.G.
I gotta start thinking
timeout.
about my answer to this question because you know it's gonna be asked this week.
I think back to what Wave was talking about.
I feel
how
like it's got, you gotta consider the body of
over,
work
and
that
it
OG
was
has
pretty much
done.
due to the fact
Their
that we
regain,
saw
their win
G2
against Luminosity and
adapt
Gen.G
and come
should mean
back
something.
against SSG, especially when they were getting kind of caught off guard by throughout
I
that
still have
series
OG4.
there. I think Gen.G is starting to recognize that the same thing is starting to happen again.
What's up?
It is starting to happen. I mean, Gen.G had 2 shots
got
on goal.
1 or
came
2
in the
games left in this
like,
final.
minute and a half, I think.
Might check out Sam
they were
afterwards.
utterly dominated in
Thanks
that
for
game.
stopping
Now,
in.
granted, it's only 1 game. Gen.G has used their timeout.
Those
so
score lines
the rare
are
case where
drastically
the two
different from
teams
each other, and
use
Daniel
timeouts
just
in
decided to not
back-to-back
participate in
games.
this game.
Gen.G is not facing match point on the opposite side.
They're calling
They
timeout.
still got another closeout opportunity before this would go to Champions Field, where again, they do have a couple of wins.
I want to see this
over
Atomic assist
G2
again.
on that field. So I don't think that they're going to be feeling much pressure at all. I don't think either team is feeling a ton of pressure
surprised they
per
left that
se.
in.
I know that G2 is feeling very comfortable after dropping 5 on Gen.G's head tops and seeing Gen.G do nothing about it for the better part of 5 minutes.
Yeah, that was bad. You gotta challenge that.
I absolutely agree. I think G2 for sure had Gen.G figured out and read almost
Chronic
like a
not
book
getting
is
up at
how
all
it
is
felt
painful to
at
watch.
times
This
throughout that game
was?
5, but the real question that I think everybody's trying to ask themselves
That's all we
is,
get to
does
see of that? That was the best
Gen.G
play of the game.
correct what was going on?
Why is that the
Or
only replay we don't
did
see
G2
twice?
figure them out enough
Golly.
to take them to game 7 and finish
Oh,
it
what
on
is my
here?
rank? My Diamond
The
1
story
now?
of this
I've fallen
tournament
off.
so
I'm
far
washed.
For Gen.G has kind of been as Chronic goes.
I also
so
haven't played
too
with
does
good internet
Gen.G.
in a long
He's
time,
been held to
so
a goal and a couple of assists. Hasn't been a
I'll
major
cope with
part
that
of the
excuse,
offense.
but
And they've
yeah,
been
around
okay
diamond level,
offensively.
probably.
Again, you had 7, 8 goals in the first 4 games. Great. But you lay an egg in game 5 where you have a chance to close out a lethal team in G2. They can start to scratch and claw
If G2
back.
claw this back, it's going to be
Imagine
impressive,
if Chronic
honestly.
can get a couple under his belt.
I mean, the
here,
game-
it could be curtains
that first
for
game was
G2.
already impressive,
Instead,
but-
it's turned into the Beast Mode show. He's got 6 out of the 10 goals that G2 has scored. What will happen on Neo Tokyo?
There is a reason Beast Mode is feared. Beast Mode is to first killer on Gen.G, right? And so if Beast Mode is awake,
Whoa,
if Beast
one
Mode
runner.
is soloing and
Nope.
getting pathing cleared for himself, this
Oh,
could
Daniel
be
winning
a
that
whole
cleanly?
new ball game for G2 headed into game 6.
First killer up a little late for that as Atomic was all over it, and Daniel can wait on the
G2's
offensive
got an
end. That bounces
opportunity
away
and a
from him,
half
so
here.
who else but Beast Mode
Surprised
to
that's
take
the shot they
It was a
take.
pretty weak one, and Chronic was not fooled by it. Good bump, though, to take out first killer.
Atomic, you gotta be
And
first.
back
That's
downfield goes Gen.G. It is first again on the attack. Not much in the tank, but when does that ever stop
He's touched
him?
by Beast Mode.
Beast Mode, though, gets around Chronic in a very awkward spot, and G2 escape harm for now.
First Killer wanted to get over, or under 1, excuse me. But G2 have other plans. It's a big clear out into the midfield here. Apparently, Jack, no boost, but enough to send it all the way up.
Atomic? What are we doing?
If anybody wants to challenge it, it could be theirs. It was Chronic on the attempt, but it bounces back up over to first.
Well, that's a shot.
If I'm Sathu, I'm probably telling the boys, yeah, let's not try that play again.
That's a shot.
They still haven't really recovered from that either.
Why is Gen.G not shooting it in the spot where they can't save it?
G2 breaks out of the zone, and Atomic trying to read that, but that's well played by Chronic.
Here comes apparently
that's a defensive demo.
He's got the
offensive
capability
demo,
to do so. Instead, he just gets stopped. Immediate transition from Gen.G.
First Killer reading him is brutal.
And this one towards backboard. First Killer just wants to keep it in possession of Gen.G for now. Apparently, Jack not able to make connection. Instead, it's a Chronic shot towards net. Beast mode clears out mid. And apparently, Jack just lurking and waiting, ready to send this one.
Oh, double commit. What? It's working? What is happening? What is this esport anymore? Daniel won that?
But at least it got them out of their own half.
All right, Chronic really
I have zero clue what is going on in the lobby anymore.
That time, as he had to put the entire Gen.G defense on his back.
Oh my gosh,
Atomic didn't read that one well, and apparently Jack did, and it comes right back into G2 territory. Chronic had to make a great stop on the backboard. And
Daniel passes to Atomic.
Shot on the post as First Killer jumps out in front to block that effort. And he can pop that away from an oncoming Beast Mode. So now here comes Gen.G.
Okay,
who's going to flinch first now in another closeout opportunity for Gen.G Mobile One Racing. It's Daniel trying to get a piece of
gosh, that's goal, right? Oh no, Gen.G's tossing it. They're going to toss a 3-1 lead.
Forward from Atomic gets bumped by Chronic into it, and
they're going to toss a 3-1 lead, aren't they?
Forward and in front of the last defender there. G2 Stride take the opening lead.
1-0, the scoreline for G2, trying to send us to Champions Field, where again they are 5-2 so far this season. The 2 belong to this team, Gen.G. Chronic has First Killer waiting for a pass. It got to him, but the shot goes way
that's a better stat instead of saying in game 5 and 7.
Atomic just puts himself between First Killer and the net, and that's good enough. That shot sails high. Daniel's got it. Atomic makes sure Jack has to jump early.
B-Mode, do something ridiculous.
Looking to add to their lead, but not going to
that's a big bump on the back half.
It feels like a million attempts at this point. Kind of haven't been as quality as we've seen in the past from, I think it's fair to say, either team at times, but for now, Gen.G, they just want to.
Oh my gosh, apparently, Jack.
Down, it's through, it's
oh my goodness. This is nuts. I love this.
A solo effort out of a Jack. Just running forward, hope that the
that's a
car is in
shot.
The way, and it is as it goes bar down. And
at the right time, too. You needed that if you're Gen.G.
His third goal of the finals ties up Game 6. Did you expect anything different between Gen.G and G2? It's going to come down to the wire yet again.
Yeah, I honestly did expect the exact difference.
Here, though, G2, they got to fight for their lives here. They've only got one more chance. Gen.G still, they're on match point. They have the upper hand in this situation here.
Missed.
And they're going to try to let G2 know that
First
this
Killer.
is where they want it to end. Off towards the backboard. Atomic tries to make a small clear over to Daniel. This one pinches out all the way upfield. Beast Mode cheated up enough to try and turn this into a play here for G2, but instead Chronic with the intercept and carries Gen.G.
He gets around that for maybe a reset almost.
Atomic very
that's
patient
tough.
Defensively there. Confident as well. I think he had support behind him, so it was fine. Chronic just ran out of gas. Now Beast Mode shot is easily dealt with by First Killer. What happens with the rebound?
First Killer got the touch.
Opportunity perhaps for G2 as Beast Mode will slow it down. He got around Chronic, but not around First Killer just yet. He'll bring it back across. Can anybody get a critical 50? That was a good one there from Daniel, but Atomic there couldn't quite finish the
Beast Mode's
job.
missing.
Chronic double drop down in front.
Oh my
we see
God.
Gen.G do that to great effect quite a bit this weekend, but it doesn't yield any results.
Chronic, reset.
Regulation. Chronic, flip reset, nothing doing. Atomic to bring it across.
We're going overtime,
G2
aren't we?
might be content with OT, but one more bounce needed. Beast Mode
Wait,
starting to give
wait!
it a look. First killer, no. And Beast Mode can't catch up to this. Golden goal again to perhaps crown a champion in this qualifier.
Off the kickoff, this one could seemingly go in favor of Gen G, but Atomic's got something to say about it. Over to Beast Mode, breaking into their half. Daniel is up off this one. Can he get over
He's not going to get anything with that.
Quite. It's a first killer challenge that keeps this one down in the Gen G possession. But how long will it stay that way? It's still headed towards the G2 half here. Somebody could end it early, or I mean, we could get something reminiscent of what we saw yesterday with the insane overtimes, especially when teams like this are so close in skill.
Daniel off the ceiling gets no, won't get the second.
Play the overtime game. Who
Come on,
you got?
boom it, boom it. Come on, B-Mode. Find Daniel or miss the ball.
First killer. If it's any of the
Demo
latter,
her?
this tournament's
Nope.
over. Otherwise, we go to
Oh,
Champions
who's up?
Field.
Who's
The
up?
first killer pops
Nobody's
one out.
up for this.
And Gen G, they were kind of bundled up, packed in the net
Oh,
like
B-Mode, huge beat.
sardines. Atomic for the win. No, he had
What
to
are we
drop it
doing?
back to Daniel.
I mean, I respect the
Patient play.
attempt, but
Beast Mode with the boost steal out of the corner.
I was gonna say, that better be left for Beast Mode.
Take over. Why wouldn't you? He's been epic in this grand final, but not good enough this time. And now
Okay.
Atomic has to play back to Beast Mode first.
For a second, I thought they caught him out.
Save. And G2
Guys, get
has
him
to
ready
try
for
again.
pass.
Daniel, slow play. Atomic will take over. They don't do anything about Beast Mode. He's still roaming free in the zone. But apparently Jack got over him, and the bank is closed down by Daniel.
That was a massive clear there for Gen G2. Daniel gets stopped in his efforts. Here comes first killer. He sent it back. Apparently Jack now getting a little bit more active on these plays here, but Chronic is the one to fear it.
Oh my gosh, that could have been the series.
Daniel to send it off, but pressure doesn't stop. It's an
Oh,
infield
huge
back
cut
over
by
to
B-Mode.
Chronic. Intercepted by Beast Mode. 1v1 on him if he could take it. Instead, this ball falls to apparently Jack.
Jack solo play to the regional!
To go through.
No way! How is it not in the nets? How is it not in the nets?
Nothing can find its way in.
Nah, no way.
Beast Mode saved him twice. And now first killer gives that away to apparently Jack. And after all that, Gen G has to kind of shake that one off and go, all right, well, let's try again. It's first killer giving it.
I don't know how you like
Atomic.
regain from that
Daniel's
if you
up
lose
very
this
quickly.
game. If you're Gen G!
To send us to Champions Field.
Oh my gosh.
Nothing less after
Dude,
the sheer
what
amount of
on
saves
earth?
that G2 had to put up against of G2. It was a quick counter, a quick attack, and now we get to see a game
How
7
on
between
earth?
the two greatest teams arguably in North America.
Arguably, no.
1A and 1B
100%.
delivering another classic in the grand finals. And of course, why wouldn't it come down to Champions Field? One final game to put somebody firmly in
POV
the
on that
rubber
beast
seat,
mode save,
qualifying
yeah.
for London. We look at the numbers. Lots of crooked numbers over there. The key, 2 goals out of Atomic. The second being the game winner. He had 4 assists without a
That
goal
should have been.
to
That
start
should have been
this
it.
series.
I don't
He
know.
has scored
I mean,
4 goals since
we got a game
at
7
that
between
point.
these two finally.
And we look back at the highlights of this second closeout opportunity for Gen G that they let go by the wayside.
Also, this has been a heck of a
Not for
day.
lack of effort. Beast Mode had the
We had a
big
game
save
6
there,
between
then he shut the door again.
Snowmen and Gen
Follow-up
G, and then
effort.
we had a game 7 between G2 and
then
SSG, and we had a
set it
game
up
7 between
for Massimo.
the
Sending
finalists.
us
Like,
to
let's
game
go.
7, Champions Field, one more game.
This is just probably one of the most fun matchups between these two teams because it never fails to become just a huge amount of excitement and surprises, and you're always on your toes with them. You at one point you're thinking Gen G is completely favored. They figured G2 out, and G2
All right,
said,
game
no,
7.
we're
Let's
on
just
the
get it.
comeback. We did it against SSG. We'll do it to you next.
So here we go. Champions Field, final game.
I think it is better for
of
Gen
this
G or G2 to win this just to be
lengthy
undisputed
weekend,
best
especially
team in North
lengthy
America.
Championship Sunday.
A 6-0 run looks better than a
Daniel will give way
6-2
to
with
Atomic.
series they shouldn't be dropping.
Everything under a microscope now at this point. Mistakes could be
Problem is
critical.
then it opens up G2 to like
Even
potentially
just
say they
slight
don't have
hesitation
problems,
as
but
Beast
I think
Mode
they know they
dribbles
have
around.
problems. So
Drop that back off for Atomic, but it's easily cleared away. Daniel dumps it back in.
Double
And
commit.
Chronic and Jack
I don't think
both
they
up for
can
that
wrap.
ball
Oh
at
my
the
gosh!
same
That, no way! No way! No! How is that save too?
That was a massive save out from first killer, but also
What?
with the help of his teammate on that
Beast
one.
Mode pre-jumped the
Came
wall
back
read from
off that
Atomic from
pressure, still
yesterday.
coming through.
Gets a nuts shot on target. Double save. What is happening?
Finally, Gen.G can break out, take possession just for a short period of time. But G2,
I can't speak properly. That's a save too.
Time and time again from this Gen.G squad.
I mean, they're all just tied up in the net. Nobody went, and the shot just went right into them. Very fortunate break for G2.
Oh, double tap off.
Gen.G's
Okay.
not done yet. Maybe they are now with Atomic full tank of boost, able to control that ball up at the backboard.
That's not good.
This further downfield.
First Killer just gets another 50 on this, and that's it.
And Beast
Beast
Mode
Mode
will
wins
come in
it.
to pressure him. Daniel waiting.
I was gonna say Daniel probably pre-jumped it, didn't he? They're ready for each other now. That's over. Beast Mode.
Beast Mode hangs in the air forever. And
That's a shot attempt. Oh, reset! He's got it.
Double tap. Bang bang.
All right.
Daniel is
G2 first.
going to be him right under Beast Mode though, but my goodness, the double to be able to go back and find that angle in it, give G2 the early game lead.
All right.
This is a massive step for G2 against Gen.G right now.
And First Killer had to expect that he was going to go low with that double effort.
Daniel
Instead,
pre-jumping again.
able to get
Over to
just
Atomic.
enough to go high.
Beats
Now
First
Atomic
Killer.
will try to
Chronic
set up an
shot,
opportunity for G2 to double their lead, but not this trip. This is way downfield. First Killer pops it up. Chronic was
How's
way,
Chronic?
way back.
Chronic, what are we doing?
First Killer
Chronic,
was
what are we
expecting
doing?
to be there,
You're so
and
lucky that's
almost
off
turned into a
target,
goal
my
on the
dude.
other side. Very fortunate that shot was
First Killer
well
died
wide.
there.
Can they
That's
capitalize
tough.
on their good fortunes? No, they cannot. As Zapjack runs out of gas and
Beast
Mode
Mode
will
big
just
flick,
flick
gonna
one
be
on.
saved.
And First Killer way back in that third there, anticipating G2's long clears that turned into those quick counters. Beast Mode off the ceiling under one. This one gets sent back, but Atomic there wants to slow things down off the sidewall. Instead, it's a huge challenge there from apparently Jack, just inching back towards that net time and time and time again. But G2, they don't like being boxed in. We've seen them break out fairly
Atomic
easily.
beats
Here's another
two.
one of it. Atomic
No,
on the one.
okay.
It's a fight against Jack off it, but it's low boost.
This ball could be intercepted by
That's
Daniel.
wonky.
Unfortunate deflection.
Yep, there it is.
Daniel scores again.
That could be it. That could be it.
Listen, Daniel thrives in
Oh, Gen.G, how do you blow a 3-1 lead,
There's
man?
nobody else that does it better at times.
How do you blow a
He's just
3-1
been
lead?
Such a light to get to watch grow throughout time, and now when it matters most, he is continuing on. He's got what, two for two right now? There's no stopping him.
Listen, when
jumping
all
from
of
yesterday.
these players in this final are on.
Oh, wait.
really
Somebody
on.
put it in the
There's no
net.
stopping
Okay.
them.
Okay, they're back.
Apparently, Jack has that one go through as well. A rare breakdown for G2 defensively after that win by Chronic.
Big win by
and
Chronic.
Jack ends up in an offside
Atomic
position
almost
behind
got
the
it.
defense. Everybody was just in a straight line there for G2.
I wonder if he
And a
says
huge
offside, if he
break
means like
that
hockey
this time
offsides or
Gen.G
soccer
capitalizes
offsides.
on. Listen, there's
Probably
not much
means
better
soccer,
than
based
watching
on-
the best players in the world play in this environment. Game 7, where there's so much on the line for
Yeah,
qualifying
the
for
fact that
London.
Atomic
These
almost
4
had it.
points could be critical for either of these teams when we go through the remaining qualifiers.
This has been a.
This is
If we tie
exactly
this game
what I
up,
tune
it's
in
been one of
for.
the best Game 7s ever.
This is such quality Rocket League.
And with the
again,
Game 6
every
overtime,
time these
too.
teams match up, it is just the best you could ask for. This one
What?
trying to get around here from Chronic. First Killer's up next to follow if he wants. Low boost for the end of G2, except for the likes of Atomic at the moment. But you got less than 90 seconds to go. G2 found their lead. They were on the comeback. This is their game to try and hold on to at this moment as they push into the Gen.G half. Gen.G
Oh, wait.
are the ones to have to fend
Oh,
off
he
the
had a
likes of
reset
Daniel
from that
Hat-trick
still?
won't pull through.
Chronic can't win this. Can you get the
Gen.G was
boost?
on
No,
a
he
stretch
can't.
where
Get
they
a buff,
won
though.
7 out of 6. Got to match point in this grand final. G2 is scoring back with 2 in a row, trying to make it 3 to close it out and reclaim their spot at the top of North America. First Killer.
Maybe not the
and
best Game
Chronic
7 ever.
have
That's
some
a
other
little
plans, but
overdramatic
they're
when
gonna
we
have
have
to watch Beast
Season
Mode
5.
play for a
but-
bit. As apparently
Surprised
Jack
no
comes
one from
up.
Gen.G's over
Nobody's
there.
over there for either side, and the Mad Dash won by Atomic initially. Chronic trying to
Atomic
pace
winning
that
that
one
50 is
down
pretty
for
big, but
apparently
First Killer's
Jack.
gonna get it.
This ball finding a lot of space, so Gen.G
Oh,
having to
wait,
put a
one
lot of
beat.
boost to get to it.
First
There's
Killer!
only one to beat.
With a save!
Now, Barlow
Oh
ties the
my
game from Chronic.
gosh.
Massive demo, massive play, just nothing but perfection from this squad.
Atomic getting the
Tie
first save on
game
that
at
is still
33
ridiculous.
seconds from none other than Chronic, the one
This
that
game.
we have been
Okay, we
saying,
really leveled
why
up.
has he not been in MVP contention throughout the weekend, and he's trying to prove exactly why he should have been in MVP contention. But another person that has MVP capability, Daniel.
Oh, you should not believe just yet. I believe in a Game 7 overtime is what I believe in. Actually,
a beast mode shot goes wide in 15 seconds.
They have so much pressure, but missing that ball is costly.
Here goes first killer.
First killer, no way, no way, no way. Just bang along.
There, but cleared out by G2. Chronic again trying to throw one forward. Watch out for beast mode. He could have free reign here. Good clear by first.
Okay, overtime in Game 7. Here we go. Finally, this series in a Game 7 delivers.
Golden goal in Game 7.
Apparently, Jack to clear this one into that G2 half, but Daniel wants to slow it down.
Reset.
Dribble it back. Reset
Oh,
to push this one
okay.
forward, but
I mean, they had so many options there.
What a save by Chronic. Stone
Beast Mode's getting
cold ice
chased,
in his veins. And now Chronic will make a quick turn here. He's got Daniel in front of him. Couldn't force it through. Atomic tied up with Daniel for a moment.
Yeah.
And
Wait, who's got boost on G2? Nobody has boost on G2. Make something happen.
Uses all of his boost. Now Chronic, first killer, trying to get around Atomic. Daniel there to support as
They
well.
did not make something happen. That's a shot. That might be the series. Oh my gosh, what a save.
Saved away. First killer got in the way, but Beast Mode had the save lined up.
It's not gonna stop here though. Atomic once that
That's not a great touch.
Daniels only goes mid though. It's a bounce up from the ground. Low boost.
Jack
could be up next, but it's Daniel to clear out mid over one shot.
I mean, surely, right? Someone's there? No.
That's
a double commit. It's open.
Which could be detrimental.
Back and forth. 1-2-1. Apparently, Jack.
And Gen G stay on top.
Oh my gosh. Oh, what a pass. That was so well threaded.
Created by a team bump by the perennial top runners.
Oh my gosh. All right, that series delivered.
And it's Gen G on top in the end. What a finish.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Listen, I truly thought G2 was going to start.
Okay, what's happening in South America?
Back. It looked like they did. But
1-1.
Jack, as the series was going on,
they almost tossed that entire series.
Involved on the offensive front, and when it mattered most, like you said, the golden
Oh yeah.
goal. He
Love to see it. They set it up perfectly.
Through the net and let Gen G continue to be the kings of North America.
20 out of a possible 21 games. Here
Can everyone finally admit that
and
G2
it
has
ends
a
with
good
a
ending?
little bump out at midfield.
Yeah, that was insane.
And then apparently Jack with the overtime winner. We look back, and that star over Chronic is probably going to be symbolic later on here as we close out our show. He's the MVP of Game 7.
Chronic delivered.
For my money, probably the MVP of the tournament. He was absolutely brilliant. And we will look back at what was a great 7th game here between Gen G
we gotta see the
and
highlights.
G2. Boy, what a series.
That was such an incredible
That flip reset
series,
double.
And just
Huge.
Nothing but just the top.
That's a
and peak
weird
of
read,
North
and then
American
Daniel
Rocket
makes it.
League from these two teams. It's nothing short of fun to watch them compete against each other. It felt like G2 was going to come back,
that
but
1-0
at
happened.
the end of the day, we've all been
That
saying
save was
it throughout
nuts.
the weekend. Gen G's
There were a
been
couple of
very,
insane
very clean,
goal
but
line
there's a couple
stands in the
people that wanna
last
celebrate this
10
win,
minutes of
and
the
they're on
series.
desk.
Oh, they've been celebrating. They've been celebrating. I've been celebrating pretty hard for a little bit now.
Oh gosh.
Oh, man.
Oh my God, baby. Gen G win. I gotta put the shades on because the future's looking so bright, baby. My goodness. G2, congrats. I'll give it to you. You pushed us to 7, but when the pressure was on the most, you couldn't close it out. And Gen G on top. I love what I'm seeing.
Bates, I got one question
Oh
for you.
my goodness.
In your
I gotta
opinion,
move my
just
screen away.
as someone that knows ball, who is the best team in North America right now?
You look quiet.
I'm not.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
What is Wave doing?
I don't know. It's tough, man. I mean, Gen G's got
gosh.
G2's numbers right now.
They do.
G2. Gen G's got G2's number, I guess.
Ergo.
We got a series there.
I guess Gen G would be power ranked right now since they just won. Gen G would be better than at the moment, bro. I guess.
Man.
I guess.
That is 4 in a row for Gen G there. I want to talk, Lemon, the defense in that series, though. Let's just talk about how great the Rocket League was. Put the rivalry to the side for a second. Back and forth, some great goals, some spectacular
That's a good
saves.
graphic right
Beast
there.
Mode in particular, what a performance.
I'm surprised these two still have vocal cords because I was watching them in the green room, also in the watch party, yelling because these saves were jaw-dropping at some points. I mean, we could make a montage off this series alone. These two have gone the distance so many times. At Game 5 in Swiss of Copenhagen, to even the last regional final going the way of Gen G, as you pointed out. And these guys have been rivals for a while, but
I thought they were going to toss that Game 3.
Gen G has the number. I'm starting to feel like it's more than that. Like, Gen G are consistently beating G2 now. What do y'all got to say about that?
So, I mean, what do we got? We got Gen G, G2, SSG.
Like the numbers are consistent, but man, that overtime.
OG.
That was like the fact that you're in Game
LG
7
or
overtime,
Snowmen?
you know, like,
Where do we put Snowmen in?
What a back and forth. I just love the rivalry. I love that how evenly matched these teams are right now.
Too evenly matched. G2 starts off slow as ever. Look at the block by mode right here. Block by mode! Yes, felt like G2 was going to put it away after that point. Just felt like they're going to do it right here. Beautiful backflip. Brought on to game number 7. I told them, we go to Champions Field. G2's going to have. And then we saw the early beast mode pre-jump from
That's insane. I don't know how that stayed out of the net.
They're all just flopping in the net. It's just flop, flop, flop.
Oh, gosh. Listen. G2, they started off strong.
Oh, man. Honestly, Dazzern versus Bates for the Death's bias has been perfect for this season. Good to see them go back and forth.
He's one of the best in the world. I absolutely loved it out of him.
These guys are just double committed left and right, up and down in overtime.
That pass from Chronic could not have been better placed. Could not have been better placed.
You gave it to him. That was an intense series, though. That's what we need. We need that back and forth in NA, because that only is going to get NA better for LANs. And tomorrow you win this time around, buddy. You win this time.
All right, good series.
You win this time. I hope you're happy. Hope you're happy. It took a miracle.
We'll listen to these guys and we'll check out what we got.
It wasn't enough. It took a miracle from G. Game and Racing. They did a good job. They're champions. They're champions today. I want to first killer especially. I think he played phenomenal, holding down the midline, and then Jack peaked with the reset.
Yes.
Not the reset.
This is true. Aqua stats
like,
through the roof.
Had kind of had a journey, had a story arc throughout that match too. Started off like the very beginning, first opportunity. The main thing I remember from game 1 was just a massive whiff in front of the net where he could have easily scored.
Overwatch SSG's in the Game 7 finals. I don't know what they're finishing.
Turns it around in the series, becomes a staple of the back line there to nail it down. So
we're
get back on
actually
offense.
like
FK had himself a nice little story.
Is North America?
Yeah, I mean, he's just
legit
always
now?
been a star on that team, and we just have the two best teams in North America,
South America
clashing when things looked a bit hairy in the semifinal. Some of us were leaning more
Rocket
Gen G from just how much better they looked there, but G2 able to bounce.
Team Secret. I think this. I don't know if there's an English stream, so we might just be the English stream. Okay, so Team Secret is Mata, Brad, and KV1. KV1 has been on Secret for a very long time. Definitely was a ones main for a bit, but not carried, but like had a lot of success with Team Secret back in 2021, 2022. Brad was on Crew last season, who were pretty much South America 1. How did Complexity win? Are you talking yesterday? I didn't catch the entire series yesterday, but I know they went to 7 against Ninjas in Pajamas. But so far, they're not looking as good. Or at least the rest of Sam is catching up or something, because... Good save. Like, have they just not figured out how to play with Diaz yet? I mean, that doesn't look like figuring out how to play with Diaz. That looks like a double commit to me. But also, I really like this scorecard at the bottom. I really like it. It's unique. It's stylish. And then Mata came over from Ninjas Pajamas last season to continue what I was saying earlier. So, and Mata was nuts on Ninjas Pajamas. I'm not sure why they ever made that trade. Still, I'll stand by that. Thought Ninja Pajamas was basically a best of the rest super team that could have swung up into Complexity and Team Secret, or Complexity and Furia. But so far, this move not looking like it's panning out the best for Complexity. We might see a North American team ranked 9th in the world instead of Complexity. We'll see. We'll see. No, don't give me ads, man. This is why I don't watch on Twitch. I'll have an ad block because I want to get myself. No, I want to get money. Mata! Dang it! How does that not go in? Also, actually thinking back on it, 10K is a decent amount of money for South American trades between Mata and Knight. Like 10K? Like, that's not a small amount in esports winter for 2 SAM players, right? 4-2. Genji. No way! Okay. Team Secret might take this down. But no, I think Genji SSG would have been a 4-1 again. Or a 4-2. I think we looked a lot better. And when we're playing the right way, I think we can take them 4-2. We did it in that regional too. It would look pretty similar, I think. So. We got to be ending this game. Oh my gosh, they're up 3-1. Include that as some of these tabs. We know where the North American rankings are. How did this series go yesterday in between these two? Oh, wow. It was a 3-1 in favor of Ninjas in Pajamas, too. Are we seeing history? History's going to repeat itself, isn't it? I swear, if the same thing happens.
Dorito died for this.
Dorito died for this. This is wild. I would have loved the Genji SSG finals just because that means we would have beaten G2 and I would have gotten to meme so hard on everything. And it would have been another time where Genji eliminates SSG, so I would have been able to meme about that too. If Snowmen had won, I would have made some great memes about. We came here to lose to Genji and beat everyone else, so we're all out of Genji or something like that. Fury is watching this. The Team Secret makes this land, by the way.
HDX, yo sé que tú hipotecaste la casa por apostar con Complexity, pero yo me voy a quedar mismo con la cochera porque aposté por Team Secret.
I should have gone to the bathroom since we have Complexity timeout. I gotta pee. It's too late now.
A los manos libres. Mi polola se está quejando en el chat, mi novia está diciendo que no me hace mucho, nunca más caso en las apuestas. En el papel parecía que Complexity tenía harto.
I think I'll get a haircut after work tomorrow. I think that'll work.
El equipo de Team Secret no había hecho si bien es cierto le ganaron ese niño.
Maybe next time we don't face Genji again in the quarterfinals. Maybe we could avoid that, if at all possible. In the semis, I'd be okay with it. In the quarters, yeah, I'd rather not. I think I've seen that a couple too many times. Right now, I'm looking for a Team Secret Furia Finals, though. This complexity moves back to America. They ain't winning crap. Brad, double tap. Wanted it. Wanted it.
Buen control de CRR. Mira como KB1 gana todos sus 50-50. KB1 se ha vestido toda esta serie, fíjate, de Fireburner. No sé si se acuerda de Fireburner.
Wait. Whoa! How did that go off the backboard without getting hit?
Nuevamente al costado. Díaz con la deflexión, pero es muy parecida a la anterior, así que Mota se va a quedar con la acción. Y Díaz volviendo, pieza polvorosa, cuando probablemente podría reconocer que...
Yeah, that was one of the splits of all time. I think the worst part about it was trying to hear everyone justify the fact that SSG should have just been better. That was the worst part about it. Obviously, it was a bummer to watch lose. Oh, CR! Can't be missing that. I mean, there's only so much you can do when you face Gen G 4 times. I wasn't too upset because, honestly, Split 1 doesn't matter. If you really look at it, Split 1 does not matter. You get more points in Split 2 if you make the second major and do about the same as your region counterpart, you're fine. So, as long as you don't completely bottle it in Split 1, it doesn't matter. So, we're completely in control of our destiny. Just make Split 2 and we'll be fine. Major 2, that is. Whoa, demo? So yeah, it was just annoying trying to hear people justify the fact that Luminosity was better than us. I thought OG was better than us at the end of the split, based on their form. But obviously we got to prove them wrong today. Or yesterday. And today, actually. I never seen OG take us. That's the first time anyone's taken G2 or Gen G to a Game 7 outside of each other. Like, genuinely, right? Oh, we're all missing. We're all missing the ball. Leave it, KV1. Oh, just strong. Oh, my gosh. Okay, I'm wrong. Never mind. Don't listen to me, Brad. I wanted him to take a strong shot there. I just wanted to see him rip it, and then he actually dunks it instead. Okay, wait. They're up with 2 minutes 15. I thought Diaz was an upgrade. Is Diaz just not there yet, or like... I mean, there's no way he's just not there yet, right? Yeah, I think most of the pros, I mean, it says a lot that the pros still all basically unanimously ranked SSG as third. Like, everyone knew this situation. It was just the talking heads that didn't. Oh, that's 2. No way. Secrets?
No, Brad y KB1, él solamente habla el idioma del gol, al parecer.
There's mainly talking heads, and of course OG and LG are never going to admit that SSG is a better team than them publicly when they're going to the LAN. So they're not going to say much, but like it does say a lot that everyone still had SSG ranked third. And yeah, it was just for some reason we decided to ignore results on first touch and just say, yeah, no, they're ranked, they have more points. They ignored how they got more points. So I haven't heard interviews from First Killer and Chronic. Was that like on the Gen G podcast? I know I missed a couple episodes from that. But I know AppJack has said it on like the mainstream. He's like, yeah, we kind of trolled by running into them. Obviously they should be beating OG today. But they're passing it and still saving it. That's a pass. Wow. Wait. No, I don't think CR returns on this time. There's no one there. You can waste so much time in this corner. Oh, KB1 defense. Oh, that's going to be a goal. Okay. Okay. 23 seconds to hang on.
Díaz entró tarde a esa pelota. Podría haber entrado en la primera ocasión. Díaz entró dudando. ¿Quién va? Ritmo Díaz.
Hang on here, Secret, please. If they throw this, I am so concerned for the rest of the series.
No, por favor. Esta mi casa. Esta mi casa.
That's a big win. KV1 faking it. Smart. Diaz or Brad slowing it down. Perfect. Perfect. Keep it in the corner. Keep it there. Don't let them break out. All right, they're breaking out. They're breaking out. Big 50s. That's it. SSG is the 9th best team in the world. Move it up. Let's go. Is that really their decal right now? That I have opinions on that decal. There's no way that's their actual decal. Wow, though. All right. I think I'll come back to watch the finals. I do have to take a bathroom break, so I'm going to do that real quickly. And unfortunately, that means running ads on you really quick. But I'll be back in a second.
Como parte del Rocket League sudamericano. Siento que Complexity tiene mucho más que ofrecer. Complexity es un equipo que tiene mucho juego mecánico, que tenía mucho juego mecánico. Y ahora trataron de cambiar su paradigma, de hacer mucho juego por el piso, fíjate. Mucho juego tratando de buscar el flick, tratando de buscar el aerial pop, llevarse la pelota arriba y tratar de levantarla. Y se les arrancó la pelota, se les arrancó el juego. Siento que perdieron el norte de su forma de juego, Drago.
Complexity, creo que, a ver, va a haber cambios. Posiblemente tengamos un segundo clasificatorio diferente para Complexity. Si se mantiene con ese estilo, tienes que cambiar los egos, la comunicación, el no dudar de tu compañero. Eso es uno. Si vemos cambios, posiblemente Complexity ya no sea el mismo y tienen que ser cambios para bien o para mal. No hay un punto intermedio para Complexity en este momento. Se nos va en las semifinales. Viene Fury en contra de Team Secret. Nosotros HD vamos a retirar otra.
De momento sí, pero entonces quédense, chicos, porque todavía queda entonces Furia contra Team Secret, que se van a encontrar en la gran final. No se lo quieren perder. Nosotros somos Rocket Street Live y volvemos.
Bye bye.
All right, we got a break, so it's time to scroll the internet to see what the experts are saying. You know where we find the experts. Twitter. Why is Tank Dell trending? No, what? Jeez. We're gonna have another player coming back from getting shot. Yep, I was gonna say. That's exactly it. Rolling ads, right? Yeah. All right, North America's good. One regional, one Omar, let's go.
Looking for an easy way to access Bitcoin?
Flowers isn't on MSI?
So you can add crypto exposure to your portfolio and have all your investments in one place. Access a bit of something.
Oh, she'll be here.
With the iShares Bitcoin Trust.
First killer, yep. Let's see what she said so far.
Home Quote Explorer lets you easily compare home insurance options so you can get what you need without overpaying.
Yeah, we spent a lot on this kitchen.
Oh, yeah, really high.
Forgot about the chronic edit.
Sorry, that's
It's
our
not good.
ghost.
Yeah, okay.
It's more annoying than anything.
Oxford tweets.
Behind the backsplash.
All right.
Yep. That's mold.
Well then.
Gen G are officially G2's kryptonite. Yep. I mean, no one has beaten G2 outside of that. This is big. This is huge.
Just ignore him.
You got bamboozled.
Sam Depth.
I think some things don't change. It's just taking the same thing and like pushing it further.
Here's the matches that we will likely see. So We're the 5 seeds, so we get 12. So, yeah. In the open qualifier bracket. That's insane that Dignitas are this low. After one event missing. But we'll have G2 Young Whippersnappers. Gen G, Netherlands, America. This gap is insane right here. 69 to 38 between 2 and 3. That is ridiculous. It's content farm. It works. It works. She's getting offers from Cloverity for like 150 a month, which is like a complete lowball, but it works. The grind will pay off. Luminosity, deleted XD. That'll be a win. OG Dignitas round 1, man. No shot. That'll be a barn burner. Is this where OG misses the main event? This is where OG misses the main event. Then SG, NRG, MAD Cloud9 again. TSM Rebellion, Moist Snowmen, also very hype. So. How much time on this break? 6:36. Okay. I wonder if we have matchups determined for this. I don't think they're going to be. Yeah, they're not. But now let's see what the other experts think. Gotta get all our expert opinions here. Jerry will be so. Oh, I do want to see this. This is apparently nuts. Are we getting Pogos in RLCS finally? Oh my gosh. Yeah, NA's got plenty of orgs. Except the 4th best team isn't signed. Joyo just pogoed on their heads, man. I mean, that's against an RLCS team. Joyo is actually Brazilian. Can't tell me these two aren't pure comedy together? Yes. I gotta look at the post-day thread. Daniel when he sees his teammates double commit for the 3rd time in 30 seconds. That's honestly fair. I might as well, but first killer was insane. Game 6 and 7. Yep. Flip a coin. Yep, that's true. We need this. We need a watch party with those two. Problem is they're always going to be in the green room, but we gotta see a watch party between the two of them. Why is my thing not right? Whatever. It's saying it's right. Overtime was awful. Dude, everyone's just talking about the final. Someone talk about my team. No one's gonna talk. SSG surprised me. Hopefully they can actually make it a split. Yeah, I mean, we are the 3rd best team in North America. Chronic as an MVP, yeah. Agree with the lack of player cams. That is a bummer. 4-0 against G2 in their last 4. Yeah, that's insane as well. I made it the modern evil geniuses. Yeah, probably. I don't know why we're bringing that up today. SSG should be a formidable number 3. 4th spot will be interesting. Yes. Good. We deserve to be. G2 and Gen G are top 5 in the world. I don't know, man. I don't know. Depends on the day. I think the top 8 are still so solid, though. Saying there's no debate is blatantly wrong. Yes. To be the only finals that were like this are G2 versus FaZe Game 7, Gen G versus FaZe Game 7. Which regionals were those in? I remember a couple Gen G versus FaZes. I know Winter 2 was a pretty big one. Whoa! Whoa there. Context matters.
Introducing the most powerful Tacoma ever. With the shut the front door handle. Also known as the Seriously Wrong.
108. 2 of that. It's okay. So that's what the experts say.
And even
SSG Undisputed 3. Let's see what discussion we have against this. No team could get more messed up by the 4. I read that already. It looks like they might not be too short of the top 2. Hopefully. I think the SSG did a coalesce split. Not 8 teams, globally pretty clear favorites versus everyone else. The only one in that combo would have been Magnifico and perhaps Oxygen. I don't know if Oxygen really was because they dropped some bad series in Europe, but it's about when G2 was about to.
You've got the peace of mind to really wander.
Oh, okay, in Regional 3. Spring 3 of 2022. I think I was like Cedar Point that time, so I definitely wasn't watching it live. But or maybe that was the weekend before. I don't think I caught that one live, unfortunately. CSSG making a top 8. Yeah, we can make a top 8. It's just a matter of will we, and we need a bracket to go. I love how they play the intro every time. Coming in first or second out of the day? No. No, let's not get it ahead of ourselves. We weren't allowed to go. Yeah, game 4. No doubt. All right. Whoa, they must have hosted because this went up to 10K. I think I have a drink over there. Hold on. I got my water. Wow, that many. You know what? There's a reason this prediction is one-sided. As all get out. But times 7 odds for Team Secret, is that really a bad move? Was the best NA finals. Interregional. I haven't caught them all, so I don't know if I can remember them all off the top of my head as well. I can remember who won them, but I don't remember which ones were good. I think a lot of people will reference that G2 versus Envy series that went to 21 games. That was in 2021. A fall split, Regional 3. That was a long series. I definitely didn't catch all of it, but Atomic got a clutch save in essentially Game 13 that kept Envy alive, and then they clawed it back. Ended up losing in the long run, but that was also just terribly long. All of them went to 7, though. It couldn't have been closer. That's a contender. What we just saw, I think. It's a great contender. I feel like Gen G FaZe in Winter Regional 2, where it was almost the reverse sweep, is a pretty good contender. Thinking through the splits, though, RLCS X RLCSX didn't have much. They had Game 7 winner, Envy over KCP in the fall split. That was probably the best. Winter 2 was very solid there as well. It was SSG versus Envy. Spring, I don't remember much of that split, honestly. Oh, except for the Reddles disconnect. I remember that. Or the Civical disconnect. There's a beef between NRG and FaZe, but that was just more online than actually in the game. The best of sets were just too long, so that kind of ruins fall split. I don't remember many good RLCS finals outside of the Envy versus KCP one, and then SSG versus Envy. What else was good in 2022? And you had a G2 come back and win. V1 won the regional. NRG won a regional. None of those stand out. Yeah, I know NRG beat SSG in the first one. And then spring of 2022 was that G2 was there. They won the first two. I don't remember either of those being great series either. The first one was good because it was G2 SSG, and SSG took it to Game 7, but then got swept afterwards. That was also the problem, it was double elim. Best NA finals. I mean, that was a contender. That was a real contender. Maybe people still think it's Gen G FaZe, or even that G2 FaZe series. But I mean, nothing's been great this year either.
Hay series, señoras y señores, al mejor de 7, gran final entre Furia y Team Secret, primera vez que se enfrentan estos dos.
End of last year was bad too, so.
Parece ser que vamos a ver no solamente una primera vez, sino muchos, pero muchos enfrentamientos de calidad final.
Una calidad tremendísima, la verdad. Furia reventando
I think
la parte superior.
for the person of for the player of Civical, I'd love to see the player of Civical still on the field, but the person of Civical, I don't think that's best for him. So I hope he enjoys his retirement. He did a lot for us, and I mean, he's given us one of the most iconic card presets in the game. So there's a reason for that.
Yanks rebote, correcto, recibe de manera perfecta, pero cabe uno, vuelve a denegar esta situación.
Hope Civical enjoys his earnings.
Secret con mucha tranquilidad, jugando y deteniendo todas las jugadas de Furia hasta el momento, porque la Furia se tiene que desatar en algún momento.
Claro, y es que es la presión constante por parte de Furia la que en este momento podría estar ya sea puliendo la defensiva de Team Secret, haciéndolos acostumbrarse al tipo de jugadas, de intentos.
He also looked really solid at Worlds despite everything going on. He wasn't carrying the team or anything, but I think no one was carrying that team.
El equipo enemigo, de ser constantes con los intentos de tiro para que eventualmente esté colando. Estábamos reviviendo eso el día de ayer con los partidos de Crew. Estaban llevándose 4 partidos al hilo.
Oh, that's a weird touch. That better not result in a goal. Okay.
Para que sacaran la serie.
Furia de nuevo con la presión absoluta.
That was hysterical. I loved that.
Todavía no vemos toquecitos ni intenciones hacia la portería de Furia, pero Team Secret.
He got a couple other people to play the Ghostbusters car after that, right? I'm pretty sure he did.
Hasta el momento parece ser que sí lo tiene.
That was hysterical, especially after losing to them in the previous tournament, and then just coming out and just destroying them in the rematch a month or so later.
No ha tenido muchos ataques más que estos que estamos viendo, pero los rebotes han sido totalmente al favor del equipo azul en el lado de Furia. Cuidado, reboteando de nuevo. Estaba Mota de la parte más esquinada del campo. Llegaba Drupiño sin nada de bus en el tanque. Queda el balón.
Why are you letting him shoot that? Of course he scores.
No estaba perdido porque los encuentra el 1-0 y entra rápido y directo y justo en el meridiano del partido.
A 107 kilómetros por hora.
I think there's a lot more that goes wrong with that first SIP missed roster than just. I mean, there's just a lot of problems. They're responding. Okay. I think SIP wanted to retire during his last split on Space Station. I think Gretel said that in the whole what happened with SSG video. And so he got an offer from FaZe. He took it, obviously. It kept him playing for quite a long time, but it would not surprise me if he wanted to retire a long time before then. And then, of course, Roldis went and said he wanted to retire and was only in it for the money. Which I'm not going to fault him for because I have no idea what his situation is like. But, I mean, there has to be a reason. So. And he was still technically good enough to be on that FaZe roster and winning regionals and contending for majors, so hard to fault him there either. But even outside of that, First Killer's dad, oh my gosh. Like, we've heard plenty about that, and then missed, just never played the game. I don't know if he still does. I don't know if he does now, but like, missed on hours, we saw what he could do. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason that Roldis was like, these guys got to be playing more, and made it an incentive for them to play more solo queue and like get higher on the leaderboard. Are we for real here? But yeah, there's a reason he made it an incentive. Oh, did the stream crash? That might not be me. Whoops. Oh no. Does someone else have access to this? What's Firewall saying? Oh, I'm blocking the overlay while I'm bragging about it. Oh, maybe it's Furia TV. Yep, there we go.
Nessa criação de jogadas, nossa, o KV1 é um perigo, né? No individual ali, ele vai puxando, chama muita responsabilidade, só que a equipe da Fúria faz uma leitura muito rápida. Por enquanto, 2-1, estamos na frente, mas a gente acompanha realmente um jogo muito parecido dos dois lados.
Levanta.
Guessing this is Portuguese, the other one was Spanish. Wait, how did that not go in?
Meu Deus.
No shot.
Genial na defesa para não deixar o gol que vinha acontecendo pela Team Secret, mas não pode dar bobeira ainda. São os segundos finais. Faltando apenas 2 segundos de Brad. Vai na bola longa para KV1. Druvinho ainda vai encontrar um gol fantasma. O terceiro gol.
Yeah, if the team actually played the game, if you're just talking pure skill levels, like, yeah, of course that team can win a championship. Even with all the issues, like low hours needing to be incentivized, First Killer's dad hounding the team, like, they still made a final and took Carmine Core to Game 6 when that Carmine Core roster was 1 Game 7 away from perfect splitting the winter. So. Yeah, honestly, if they go to, I might keep watching the entire thing, but I'm definitely going to be done streaming after this series. So I'm just mainly trying to watch RLCS. So. That was a close game 1 though, all things considered.
Lodge apenas uma defesinha, mas ali esse ele tinha que ocupar a tela inteira, brother. De tão importante que foi essa defesa. Que defesaça que ele fez nesse fim de jogo. 3-1 pra Fúria, pra dar um pouco de aquela confiança para os próximos games. A Team Secret vinha quente, né? Acabou de jogar uma partida, acabou de ganhar da Complex.
What are we doing? See, last time it was Twitch. This is my computer crashing.
Que, cara, querendo ou não, uma tarefa difícil, assim. Era o...
I might just call it Jover now, unfortunately.
Foi 4-1, né, Team Secret? Mas uma tarefa bem difícil.
They forgot that KV1 existed.
Vem quente pra esse
disappeared.
Jogo, e é bom já pra jogar.
That's because Secret wasn't making lands.
Total, total. E a gente gosta, né,
Almost
desse estilo de
completely
jogo. A
lost
equipe da
my
Fúria, por
computer
mais que
there.
tome um gol, não baixa a cabeça, muita agressividade, muita pressão no ataque e tem que ser
Yeah,
dessa forma mesmo. Ainda mais jogando contra uma
KB, when
equipe
he
da
made
Team
the
Secret
land
que
with
tem
Team
uma defesa
Secret
muito
in
uma
Rotterdam and made a
defesa
top 4,
consolidada ali, né? Muito
and
bem
then
organizada, uma defesa com uma rotação que
Team
os jogadores
Secret,
estão
did
se
they make
entendendo
another
muito
land?
bem. Então,
Yeah, they did, but then
realmente
they
continuar
didn't get outside the top 12. They weren't
pressionar os
great.
nossos adversários e vamos Fúria, vamos
And
pro
everyone
próximo game.
discredited their group because they only had Team Liquid in it.
Fúria.
That was the weakest group of all time. Team Liquid, Team Secret, and then Ground Zero and Gaming Gladiators. Like, oh my gosh.
Bola longa, e já buscou o bump. Vai tentar
Worst group of all
mas
time.
estava sem boost do Trufinho. Lodge tentou encontrar.
So yeah, of course they make it out of that group 2-0 or 2-1.
A bola fica confusa, Trufinho decide tomar conta dela. Ian já tá cheio de boost na defesa. Ian com boost na defesa.
That is going to kill my frame rate. Let's go.
Vai no aéreo. Pega o reset, manda por cima. Lodge tá na bola. Yanks levanta. De novo Yanks. Lodge passa pro meio pra Trufinho. A bola do Trufinho. E Yanks pra outra
ponta. I ate lunch at 11. No wonder I'm so hungry.
Vai tentar no individual. Vai buscar um bump. Consegue 50.
KB1, please. They can't put it in the net for the life of them. Once the ad goes away, the frame rate gets better. But we're going to get a second ad instead. Drufo misses that.
Explode no travessão. Mas o Lodge quer na sequência. Faz o fake. Ganha no 50. Tentou o bump, mas o bota
I love
tira,
watching PowerPoint.
Muita pressão e um quase, Thiago. Que maldade essa bola não entrar ali, né? O chute e a jogada foi maravilhosa. A equipe da Fúria tá criando uma jogada atrás da outra.
This is why I watch on
realmente
YouTube.
Um lance ali que acaba não entrando. Vamos!
Vamos!
Whenever possible. And now my computer's probably crashing, isn't it?
Fúria! O Lodge chega pra fazer o gol depois.
All right, I'm going to make sure I close out of any other ads.
Passe do Trufinho no meio da área. Não tinha bota pra defender esse chute, não.
Vamos, Fúria. Que lindo, né? Que lindo o passe do Drufinho. O Drufinho tá cirúrgico nesses passes também, viu? Vou te falar, Thiago. Estão jogando muito bem. Estão jogando solto. 1-0 aqui. Custou bastante pra esse primeiro gol sair, hein?
Yeah, we've completely lost the plot.
Segurar um pouco, deixar a Team Secret fazer logo esse gol. Drufinho tem a posse. KV1. Dredd faz a demo. Uma confusão ali na comunicação do Team Secret. A bola fica perigosa, Drufinho. Ficou zerado de boost, sedento, tá pra longe, pode ser um bom.
No way Liquipedia kills me that bad, right?
Mas sobra depois pra KV1. Trufinho. Yanks deixou a bola pra Lodge. Lodge vai buscar o passe.
I might have been.
Dessa vez, Mota tentou tirar por um momento e achei que ia fazer contra. Da direção que ele tava indo, Grace. Mas quem vai fazer é o Trufinho. Na confusão.
This is looking tragic. But it's already impressive that Team Secret made it this far, so.
E a Team Secret se perdeu toda ali no momento defensivo, né? A gente vê aí mesmo no replay. 2 jogadores dentro do gol, um na backboard. Mesmo assim, eles não conseguem fazer a leitura. O Drufinho vem de surpresa.
Yeah, I mean, I'm turning off the stream when the series is over, so I'll just keep watching till the end of it.
Tá na frente, 2-0. Estão aumentando aí com qualidade, hein?
Good save by KB1.
Mas o KV1 tinha voltado pra fazer defesa. Olha agora o KV1. Ele com o Trufinho foi bem na defesa, foi bem no 50. Brad. Lógico, vai disputar com o KV1. O KV1 foi mais rápido. E antes. Tenta no individual. 50.
How do I get the annotations to go away?
Mas já viu o jogador da Fúria.
Oh, we're catching up now?
Yanks voa pra fugir, tá dentro ali. Yanks conseguiu mais um toque na bola. Trufinho. Ele vai tentar mandar, consegue mandar por cima do save gigante, Trufinho. Cara, hein, Graça?
Jogadaça,
This is
né?
brutal.
A gente acompanha ali os jogadores da Team Secret até sem boost, um passando a bola pro outro e ficou no quase ali, né? A equipe da Fúria se vira como pode, vai segurando o resultado. 1 minuto e 39, por enquanto aqui a
It's not just me. It might just be me. Part of it is just me. My computer feels like it's damn near ready to crash sometimes.
A grande
But
final pode ser um tricampeonato da Fúria nesse split. Olha o Brad. Deu um toque, a bola longa. E antes faz o
please save this, Mata.
Bota
Thank
pega
you.
essa. Trufinho vai disputar com o Mota. KV1 levantou. Acho que voa a primeira.
I mean, the other stream did crash, so.
Mudar a rota do voo dele. Trufinho tá lá. Vai tentar tirar do Brad. Yanks, 50 com o Mota.
Lost bang long. Counter. Oh, good save by KB1.
Contra-ataque de cima, mas a rotação
Falta
muito mais rápida,
minuto.
Graça.
Tô gostando de ver, né? A gente vê aí uma... existe possibilidade de um ataque da equipe da Team Secret e mesmo
shooting on the round
assim
net.
tem um jogador muito bem posicionado, né? A recomposição defensiva é muito rápida.
Bota shot!
Os jogadores muito bem preparados, mesmo no sofrimento ali, Thiago, tá dando tudo certo. 2-0, permanece no placar. A equipe da Fúria é muito consistente.
I mean, despite the fact that Team Secret annihilated them.
Finais, encontra Yanks pelo teto, KV1 tira,
Oh my
lógico.
gosh. Ready to sweep.
O lado direito do campo vai iniciar uma jogada. Mota tá lá de novo. Yanks. Ai, o Yanks tentou, mas não precisou, não. Não precisou do toque extra, não. A bola já tinha direção. Depois desses 50 com o Yanks.
I mean, I think despite the fact that we just saw Complexity get 4-1 by Team Secret, you probably still have Complexity as the second best team in Sam.
Vai acompanhando uma dividida ali que o Yankees se sai melhor. Sensacional, 3-0, Thiago. Faltando 10 aí. Agora.
But they stopped. Is this live? Surely, right? Rip. It's gonna run ads on me, isn't it? No, it's not. Thank goodness.
Falei 1-1. Mas o 2-0 Fúria. Timeout pra eles, cara. E o Secret é bom nos timeouts.
Oh, nice.
Melhora o time nos timeouts. E a Secret não tá... Cara, tá bem no jogo, assim. Não tá perdida. Tá bem colocada no jogo, mas, cara...
Yeah, I think with Sam power rankings, you still gotta have Furia 1, you have Complexity 2. Secrets definitely moved themselves into 3. Or have they?
É o que se sobressai diante das partidas, né? Porque
How they do in
é um
Swiss?
jogador que levanta
I don't want to pull it
a
up on my
bola
computer because
numa
that'll
jogada
crash
no
everything again.
individual
But
e outro jogador que aparece pra completar. Então, pode ser uma
In
jogada
Swiss,
individual e quando você vê,
they 3-0
eles
through
estão
Swiss,
encaixando
beating Ninjas in Pajamas. So I guess you put
então é
Secret
muito
3, Ninjas
difícil de
4.
prever o que a equipe da Fúria tá fazendo, o que eles vão
Ninjas
fazer
4,
ali.
you put
Então, eu
Crew
não
4.
gostaria de estar na pele da Team Secret nesse momento, porque você olhar e ver, né, o Yanks
Oh,
vindo
man,
na
I
bola
don't even know.
e do nada aparece o Drufinho ou o Lost
Sam
pra
is
poder
fun.
completar a jogada. Então, sem dúvidas,
Fury 1,
uma partida
Complexity
surreal
2,
jogar
Secret
contra esses
3.
jogadores.
E também eu gostei que
Crew 4, Ninjas 5.
muito, né? A gente viu a partida
Because I don't want to break Ninjas too highly based on merit by taking Complexity Game 7, especially when Secret beat Complexity.
Então,
So,
ele fez o primeiro gol, acho que, da Secret.
Ninjas 5 after this?
Mas depois
Secret
disso,
3, Crew 4?
tranquilo. Então, e a gente já começa logo no
Oh my gosh.
Então, já dá aquela tranquilidade, tipo assim, caraca, pedimos timeout pra tocar uma gol de kickoff também. É osso pra eles, Graça.
Tá complicado pra ele, Thiago. Eu não sei de nada, eu só sei que a nossa Fúria tá ganhando 1-0 no placar. Olha, poucos segundos, né? 4 minutos e 57 de jogo ainda. Não dá pra confiar, né, que 1-0 tá ganho, então vamos continuar aí nesse jogo confiante, no jogo pegado e realmente manter o foco. Tem tudo pra gente vencer, mas realmente não deixar, né, não desmerecer a equipe adversária, porque eles têm muito potencial, então a gente tem que ficar de olho, porque a qualquer momento, né, esses jogadores, eles receberam, né, a dica ali do seu coach, a gente sabe que conversar com o coach ajuda muito.
Meu amigo. Tá vendo o jogo da Fúria, piscou, perdeu o gol, cara. Foi logo no kickoff, 3 segundos de jogo. Olha o Yanks, tocando a bola. Bota, vai utilizar a parede, ficou sem boost, foi um passe pro KV1, olha o Lost sem ângulo. A gente tem que fazer defesa. Bota no contra-ataque, foi o chute direto, mas aí foi um chute fraco, foi tranquilo pra defesa da Fúria. Trufinho. Utilizou o Yanks, tentou botar no redirect, a velocidade na bola, e antes do chute! Bota, faz a defesa. Bota agora vem no contra-ataque. Um pouco bucho, só pode fazer um flick, mas lógico, tá
Whoa, that's a miss.
No gol, vai no 50 contra o Brad. Drufinho na bola, tenta encontrar o Lost, o passe pra Yanks, que jogada boa, e Yanks, é double tap, é double, mas o Brad
This is very laggy still.
a jogada, Graça.
I gotta say,
seria
my
uma
computer.
jogadaça, né, típica do Yanks, mas é isso, né, o Brad
Hey,
fez a
turn again.
leitura, ele já sabia, né, conhece o Yanks.